So what are we missing? Blast trap, impact,
shock charge, gas grenade. Very good omissions here. Mainly the shock charge, the gas grenade, and the blast trap, because those have no counterplay. This is fantastic news.
Yeah.
Fantastic news. I haven't iPlayed in 2 months. Okay, man. Oh, that's funny. Have some shame and decorum, Tanner. That's what I always say. God, that's so based. Oh, we're live. Welcome. Big boy ep coming to the Dropshot Call of Duty podcast page. Not Patreon. We have one though. Regular ass episode number 508. My name's Casey, aka Razinon. And finally, we've got an ep for you. Wow.
yeah.
So, as per usual, which bugs me, we've gone from not having enough to talk about to having simply far too much.
Yeah.
Way too much. So,
That'll happen.
So today, we are going to start chipping away at it. So, since our last ep, we've gotten a blog post on Warzone Verdansk map return, a separate blog post that's a map tour, a separate blog post that is Attack Atlas, which actually wouldn't take much time to cover, but it's kind of cool. And then also another blog post on multiplayer, zombies, and shared content. All of which is for season 3. That's too much to cover in one ep, almost certainly. So what we're going to do is right now cover the big Warzone one that we got yesterday or 2 days ago. And then we'll see how much time we have from there. But we're definitely not going to start the multiplayer, zombies, and shared content. So that includes like the Kilo, HDR, AMAX, monolithic suppressor, and then multiplayer stuff, firing range. We'll cover that on Saturday and any other things. Because we also have seen Call of Duty tweets about like the movement nerf. I don't know if that's in the blog post or not. But is there info that was only tweeted and will not be in this blog post? If so, we'll cover that on Saturday.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's the plan. But yeah, I can't wait. So we're covering this. So yeah, that's what we're going over. We'll have a couple announcements. Stick around for the end if you're interested in that. But for now, we are going to get ultra mixy on this massive intel drop. Warzone. Return to Verdansk. This was released yesterday. So,
yeah.
A ton to talk about here. We're going to get into all of it. Finally, we have some things on Verdansk. And this hopefully is going to answer a lot of our questions. I have not read this yet. I've been getting trickles of info from Twitter and Discord. But I wanted to read this for the first time live with you guys. So that's where I'm coming at this from. Have you read this yet, Tanner? I guess you haven't either.
I haven't read it, but I think seen most of it on Twitter. So, but I haven't read the whole blog post, no.
Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Now, many of you, I'm sure, have seen a lot of info about this on Twitter. However, a lot of it could be wrong or just an exaggeration. So for example, I've been seeing a lot of people say like, oh, the movement is nerfed. They're going to nerf the movement. What exactly did they say? And what exactly does that mean? Or what do we think it means? Let's find out together, because I don't trust Call of Duty content creators on fucking Twitter to accurately relay any information ever. So I'm curious to see what I thought was true based on tweets and Discord and what's actually true. And maybe you'll learn something new as well. So, all right, words. They're big and intimidating, and I can't read. Welcome home. The original experience returns as Verdansk arrives. And we have the roadmap image. We're not going over it, as is tradition.
Oh, wow.
Normally we do.
Okay.
But we're going to get into all this as we go through the blog post. And this is going to be a long blog post. So let's not waste time on that. That's my vote. Unless Tanner really wants to.
No, I'm sure they'll talk about all of it, so.
Yes. Some interesting stuff there, though. So here we go. In this highly detailed blog, we break down the rebuilding process of Verdansk. So, and then some other things. So one thing here is the COD Pod has done an episode since their last one 3 months ago, probably.
Yeah, I think
where they talk about a lot of stuff. This is another thing I don't think we're going to get into.
Well, it's
because,
an hour long, so yeah, we're not.
Well, I mean, the snippets of info that came out of it. I'm not listening to the blog post or the podcast. Fucking obviously, it would drive me insane. So instead, we're going to use Twitter, Charlie Intel, who's taken the good bits out of it, and cover all that stuff. Saturday, probably. Maybe today. It would make sense to do it today, but we'll see how much time we have. So ensure you're up to date with some more blogs. Part 1. Rebuilt from the ground up. Just as you remember it, asterisk. Okay.
That's kind of funny.
So why? Okay.
That's funny that they write that, actually.
That's hilarious.
That's a little tomfoolery.
If they did it on purpose, that would be really great, but I don't know.
I think they did, yeah.
Just as you remember it, asterisk, so I guess, whatever. Content summary, I don't care. When Verdansk returns on April 3rd, more words that don't matter. So there's a lot of flavor text here. Here we go. Keep going. In the most basic terms, this version of Verdansk is 95% a rebuilt version of Verdansk in 2020, with around 5% of the map's landscape receiving light adjustments and quality of life improvements. Okay. Veteran players remembering back to MW19 should think of Verdansk in Season 3 as the map that dropped in March 2020, with a few elements from that game's later seasons added, like the metro station entrances, and a variety of other map changes scheduled across future seasons. So I do remember those metro stations being open, but they may or may not have had the actual trains running yet. I don't know if that's what they mean here, or if they're actually going to try and do the fast travel system again. I assume the former, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So,
I think they might get into it.
Yeah. Okay. Familiar, enhanced, and improved. It's the little things. The look and feel of Season 3 Verdansk falls into one of 3 categories. Familiar. It's rebuilt to be the same as the original map you remember. This is around 95% of the play space. Enhanced. Just the same as the Verdansk map with beneficial adjustments. Okay. That's where the asterisk should be. Because what does a beneficial adjustment mean to a COD dev is a great question. I guess we will find out. Or improved. So I guess enhanced and improved mean different things. And I hope that helps. New elements within an existing area based on the current game designed with quality of life upgrades in mind. That I'm fine with. So we'll see. Let's take a moment to look at some specific visual examples of these adjustments. Okay, so example 1, comparison. Familiar facsimiles. That's a college word. Okay, so on the left, we have Quarry. And on the right, we also have Quarry. What are the differences that you notice?
Almost nothing. The lighting looks, I guess, better.
It looks less hazy to me.
It does look less hazy, yeah.
Like dusty.
Yeah.
Which is good, obviously. And then the bottom 2 images, the difference there is immediately even more obvious, but the same, less hazy.
Yeah, Much
a lot less hazy
Love
inside.
that.
Yeah. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy with this.
Yeah, it looks much, much better. My God.
It does look much better. Yeah. Especially the inside images.
Yeah.
It is profoundly less hazy. So, okay. Good start.
Yeah.
What were you going to say? Sorry.
I was just saying, and it does say they're pretty much identical aside from the improved interior lighting. And they renumbered the checkout area inside of Superstore. Yeah. That's going to change things. My God. I'm used to saying like, oh, there's a guy at check stand 9.
There's a guy.
And I have to say there's a guy at check stand 2.
Yeah,
careful out there,
on
guys.
check
Make the right
stand
comms.
3. Yeah, yep. For the vast majority of the map, things are one-to-one duplications. So, okay. Yeah. Okay, so that's great. That's what I would expect, by the way, for like a remastered map, is this. So, cool. Good start. Example 2, enhanced topography. Okay, let's take a look at this. So now we're looking at a fire station in image 1 and 2. What looks different
Damn.
to me? Yes. Okay, so once again, the lighting is better. It looks more clear and easy to see. Which is very weird, because like the trailer they released had ass visibility, it looked like. But I think they had tweeted since then, hey, by the way, we're making the visibility even better than that, or something to that effect. Is that correct?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Someone in chat let me know what I'm thinking of, because I saw something like that. But anyway, regardless, I'll take that. So yeah, 2020 and in season 3, the new Verdansk. What are the differences in these images? Okay, a couple things. The most obvious one, the fire station just has more detail. And it's not like an ugly yellow color. Now it's a less ugly brown color, I guess. There's also a truck
actually
in the garage, and there used to not be one. I don't know if this is a functional Bertha or not. So
we will get into that. I'm pretty sure that is, because I'm pretty sure later in the blog it says virtually every car that's not blown up you can drive. I think that's what they're going with. So if it's not just blown up in a wreckage, then it can be driven, which that's what it looks like to me, but hard to tell.
Weird to include a car in an image like this, then.
It looks like the top window is just blocked off now, or is that glass over it? I can't tell. I think it's just blocked off, right?
Oh yeah. So yes,
that's interesting.
So you guys can see my mouse, right? Yes, you can. So my mouse here, this window appears to be open, but now it appears to be boarded up. My suspicion is, well, I was gonna say the reason they did that is like this wasn't jumpable back then. You might be able to mantle into this now at that height, so they wanted to board it up to disallow that. And maybe that is why they did it. But then also, I can't shoot out of this window anymore if I'm in fire now. Is that good or bad?
Probably bad. I don't know, though.
I don't know either.
You can also tell there's just more stuff on the roof. On the old image, there's kind of just nothing up there now. There's like an air conditioning unit. There's another stack of boxes, it looks like. So just a little bit more detail. And then something else they'll point out later in the blog post, and you can see here, the trees are not in the exact same spot as they were before. So like we see a tree slightly closer to the wall on the left side here, and in OG Verdansk, that tree was not there. Just
that I like a lot. Further. You can get up to that fire station and have shitty cover, but some cover at least.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And then another thing I'm noticing, by the way, and they're probably going to talk about this later, but the rocks behind the fire station look more climbable. Like
pretty
these
sure
rocks
that's
here.
Out of the zone.
Is that out of the zone already there?
It's got to be close. I think those rocks are. They will talk about that later, but when we did that flyover for during the trailer, and I had said when we were looking at Dam, I was like, does that look like a new pathway up there? That is a new pathway. So those are some of the changes that they've made that we'll go over.
Yeah. Okay. So those are some differences. And I think that's pretty much it. The glass here is either very, very clean, or there just aren't windows here anymore. They're like pre-broken, which I like.
Where on the tower?
In the tower, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like to me. It almost looks like there just might not be windows.
Which is
but if they're that clear,
I like
then
that.
Also good.
Yeah, exactly. Either way, that's a good thing. And then looking farther back beyond that, it's probably not what they want us to look at, but it looks very similar. But like, notice, look at the building where my mouse is to the right across the frozen lake in the old image. How hard is that to see?
Pretty hard.
Obviously, if I'm pointing it out, you can tell it's a fucking house. But if you're running by getting your shit ripped, you're not telling that that's a house. It's just some blob in the distance. But in the new image, that's fucking clearly a house. Like, you could tell that's a house far away. And now think, if there was a guy standing on this roof, in which image would I be able to see him more easily? And more importantly, in which image am I seeing that guy sooner? I'm seeing him fucking way sooner in the new version, which is a great thing. Because that is my, as we were talking about in the pre-show, number one complaint with the old Verdansk. Yeah, I think it's my number one, is that I just couldn't see people ever. Inside, outside, under the map. I couldn't see anyone ever. So now that it looks like it'll be easier to see people, great news. Keep in mind, as always, these are words and pictures. This does not necessarily represent actual gameplay, and we'll get into that more, but this is a good start. So now looking at the next two images here, we have the canal. Before it was frozen, underneath a little bridge. Now there's like puddles.
Yeah.
There is, and besides the better clarity, which is becoming a theme, which is great news, it just looks slightly different. Nothing gameplay relevant here at all, I don't think. Well, the only thing that would be gameplay relevant is you'd actually hear people splashing now.
Yeah.
So if you're like on top, if you're, I don't know, on the bridge and someone is underneath you, you'll be able to hear when they go from being in the canal because they're splashing to very close to you now because they're on the cobblestones.
Yep.
If you can hear people when Verdansk comes out, which you may or may not be able to.
They do point that out, and then they also mention look through the bridge arch to compare the understated improvements to the draw distance at longer ranges. So I'm glad they're pointing that out. Because, yeah, that is, I mean, in the old image, you could barely even see those houses back there. In the new image, it's very clear.
Yeah.
So, God, that map had a ton of haze on it.
Yep, it sure did. So that's good.
And,
okay.
And people thought we were crazy back then. Do you remember that? There were people that genuinely thought the visibility was just fine. And they were like, I don't know why you guys have trouble seeing things.
Yeah.
They're like, it felt like we were in the minority in thinking that, which was fucking insane to me.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. Listen, a lot of people said a lot of crazy things back then, but anyway. So yeah, they wrote some words about this. Oh, they did mention, yeah, changes how you hear enemy footsteps as they splash through the water. Yeah. Okay, cool. And then example 3 comparison, enhanced detail. Okay, so another comparison image here. This is Storage Town in the first two pictures. Again, yeah, weird. Open windows in this building and then boarded up ones in the new version. I wonder if they write about that.
No, they act like they didn't do it.
Okay.
They talk about cosmetic details added, including weeds on the garage roof, but they don't mention covering up windows. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the thought process is there. I am genuinely curious to hear why they considered doing stuff like that.
I hate this. This fucking bugs me. Because now if I'm running by and someone's ratting in there, if there's windows, I can see them. If there's not, and they're not moving, even if the audio's good, I won't hear them or see them, and I'm dead. That's going to bug the fuck out of me. So I hate this change. And I hate even more that that's the most obvious gameplay affecting thing that's different in these two comparison screenshots, and there's not a peep about it, but they talk about noticing the subtle improvement to the draw distance. Okay, so I'm bugged officially, but anyway.
Yeah, it almost makes you think that they're making these changes to kind of remove a lot of outplay potential from the game, like genuinely. So if some guy comes back and he's a brand new player, he's watching that door, instead of some kid omni diving through the glass sideways and shooting him in the back, now all he has to do is watch that door because he knows he's going to come in that way or the back door. Like, it honestly seems like that is probably the main reason they're making these changes. So, okay.
Hate it.
And as chat
really
pointed out too, so that left garage back there, better visibility inside there compared to before. But
100%.
This is what I was talking about with the flyover. We did it before also, is the shadows now in video games, they're like so realistic and dark. Look how much darker the actual shadow is on the right from the building you're looking at. So if a guy's laying there, he's just harder to see than a guy laying there in the image on the left. And because of all the detail they've added on the ground, trash bags, puddles, all of that ends up kind of leading to just worse visibility at close range. But yeah.
I'm extremely worried for exactly that reason about indoor visibility. Yeah. And it also, again, it really fucking bothers me. They board up the windows and don't mention it.
Yeah.
Like, is this other one also boarded up? It looks like it, right? The second one, the one farther away from us.
What one further away from us? What do you mean?
There are two windows on the building. The window farther from us, is that also boarded up?
Yeah, of course, yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, and they just don't mention, it just drives me crazy. So anyway, so hate it now, but anyway. And then the next two images are bunkers. I honestly, these look almost identical. It looks better now, but
climbable rocks. It's the biggest thing.
Yeah. Yep. And then like
which
a new
the map
tree
needs badly. Yeah.
True. Yeah, true. So that's fine.
But I mean, that's good. We don't want a bunch of changes. So this image is exactly what we want. Just make the map easier to traverse and just don't change other things. So this is overall just good there. But also, it's like those shadows again. The shadows are so much darker now.
Yeah. And that's good. And everything in a building is shaded. So yeah, you're right. So anyway, next example here is some police stations. So old police, new police.
Oh, that's bright in there, man.
So it's way easier to see inside the building from outside in the new version than the old one. That is good news.
That's fantastic.
And I think it's because there are just a bunch of lights turned on inside the new version.
And again,
which
by the way,
good.
Bottom windows. Before they were like half boarded up and then you can jump through the other ones. This one, they've got the window, what are those things called?
Bars?
Like the bars over them. Yeah, so you can't
get
in any of the bottom windows. There are bars on all of them
down low I'm looking at. In the old version.
Image? Well, then what's on the right side where there are bars and then there's nothing of all those windows?
Which one on the bottom?
It looks like they're all of them. Isn't there only bars like on one side? Or is it just the way the lighting is?
Well, look at the rightmost window on the bottom. You can tell there's two sets of bars there. I think that's true for all of them, yeah.
Okay, yeah, maybe. Oh, it's like a different type of bar and they run. Okay. Yeah, it's very hard to see. Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I don't remember all of those being like that before, but okay, that makes sense.
Well, it also looks like the top left three. I don't know if you were able to get through those in old police station, but now you're definitely going to be able to get through the top left three in new police station, which I like. And if that's true, what's weird about that is why did you board up the storage town windows and make it harder to outplay people, but then make it easier to outplay people at a police station? No rhyme or reason, I guess.
Yeah.
No one knows. Okay, but overall, this is massively improved.
Yes.
100%. Because visibility indoors is one of my two very big concerns. The other one's visibility outdoors. Well, I have a lot of big concerns, actually. Another one's audio. But anyway, this is a good comparison. And then looking in the background, looks about the same. So now on the bottom,
more clear again.
We have structure, and I remember this structure and exactly where it's located. And we have a ladder we didn't have before, which I always wanted when I was here in the original version all the time, which I was. So that's cool. Other than that, it's about the same.
You can really tell how much less haze there is, though, because look at in the old image, you can't even see the mountain range back there on the right. It's like there's not even a mountain, and then now you can at least see the outlines. That's a good sign.
On the right, yeah.
So that's definitely improved from that game. The thing is, we're improving this to 2020 Verdansk. How is that visibility at long range compared to right now? Probably still just worse than what we have right now.
Question.
Hard to say.
Yep.
That's the thing, is they're really showing this off. It's like, well, yeah, the visibility was ass back then. It was terrible. So just because we're improved from that doesn't mean it's going to be better than even what we had last year or right now outside. Because generally right now, the visibility outside is perfectly fine most of the time.
Yep. Yeah, great point.
Inside buildings and looking into windows, so we might still just be worse off than that, but we'll see.
That's a great point. Yes, that is something you should keep in mind. So, another example here. Enhanced details everywhere.
Oh, wow, everywhere, huh?
Okay, I was going to say, what? But they're not comparisons anymore. These are just 4 different pictures. Okay. And it's detailed looking. Okay. Yeah, it looks pretty, man. Yeah, it's 6 years newer. I hope it looks better. So
yeah, on the dam, it looks like, I think that little dock might be new. The dealership or whatever. Is that like pathway up there new? Or is that already there?
It looks to be new. I'm pretty sure that's new.
Okay. The building just looks brighter for some reason too. Easier to see in, it seems like. And then other than that, yeah. Okay.
Sorry, I had to blow my nose. Yeah. Looks good. I'll take it. And they write a lot of words about how there are details now. Another example here. Okay. So old Verdansk. Never mind. I was going to say, not a comparison at all. Okay. Yes. 4 more pictures. I actually want to read what they say about this. Okay. Yeah, so that sign is new, by the way, from up here. They confirmed it in the words. They repositioned some cargo planes at hangars as well. Okay. So that if you're pushing the tarmac, you have a little more cover. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that plane used to be the opposite direction, I think. I think it was open on the side where it is the front of the plane now. Almost positive.
Yeah, so the new southern shoreline and Bunker 9 switchbacks. Running west to east along the southern edge of hills. So that's on the like southwest of the map. Now that swimming is possible, access to the Castovian Sea has opened up and a new shoreline can be, traversed all the way from the southwestern edge of the map. Wow, south of the kart racing track, which is, like on the west edge of the map, all the way east to the prison. So all along the south, you can swim. Along the way are trails up the cliffs, as well as wooden viewing platforms, allowing a quick ascent from the water as ascenders appear in the game. And here are some example pictures of that. So you will be able to swim along the southern edge of the map. This is something we had talked about in our flyover and weren't really sure. We also didn't really care or spend that much time on it because it actually doesn't matter that much. You never gonna want to be up there regardless, so I don't really care. I do like that there are ascenders here though. That's good. AKA zips. So that all looks fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Verdansk Recon Tour, access granted. So there's like, yeah, the Tour of Verdansk blog where they go into all the POIs, which we're not going to cover today. And then a bunch more images here. We're seeing a lot of smoke and fires, but okay. Whatever. Here's the train station. Here's inside airport looking outside scrapyard. Downtown, more downtown. Oh, I forgot about this building with the lion statues out front. Fuck, did I forget about that building? Yeah.
That was the bank, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
I remember the inside of whatever
exactly
building that was not fun to fight in. I'm pretty sure it was like a bank vault or something.
I think it might have been a bank, yeah.
But yeah.
So, either way. Anyway, getting granular. It's all in the details. Cool. Okay. Now that you've seen a variety of the limited and extremely subtle adjustments and quality of life improvements, here's a general summary of what to expect. Trees aren't in precisely the exact same locations. That's what Tanner just said. Any parked vehicle that aren't drivable, sick, now look much more like smoldering wreckage, ensuring players can easily distinguish immovable automobiles from the cargo truck, LTV, and other accessible vehicles. So if it's not very obvious that it's blown the fuck up, you can drive it, is what they're saying is the case. Cool. One of the biggest changes is the ability to swim, which wasn't originally possible. The south, you can now swim a little bit. However, this isn't critical to gameplay, and none of the rest of the map requires swimming based. Yeah. Great. Good, really good stuff there. Some of the more unforgiving areas of steep and rocky terrains have been adjusted so that mantling and traversal maneuvers are easier, and goat trails are a little more prominent. Another good change, particularly needed up by Dam, like we just talked about. Telephone electrical poles have been made slightly shorter in some locations to enable easier parachute landing. It bugs me that they thought of that, but that's a good thing, so I'll take it. Other traversal points or areas that disadvantage some players have been given minor adjustments, allowing routes to rooftops that may have originally been accessible only by parachute. This includes the addition of newly positioned ladders. So I think this was true for a lot of downtown buildings. Like, you could only get up there by helicopter, parachuting onto it, or taking a very convoluted bullshit route. Now you can just climb directly up a ladder, which is good shit.
Yeah.
You like those. Doors can be barged through, are usually double hinged. They swing open in both directions. Don't say usually, make it always, but okay. And can be shot or blown open or closed. Okay. So we're getting doors again.
Yeah, this is confusing the way they word that. They almost make it sound like there is a type of door that you can't shoot or blow open, but it's like an accessible door.
A single hinged door. Yeah, I know. Ever. So that's weird, but
I don't, it's just it's just worded.
Whatever.
In a weird way, of course.
So here's the next point. While Ascender zips weren't in the original Verdansk launch, they were originally added at Season 5 of MW 2019 and are not planned to arrive until later into Season 3 of this year in BR matches. These have been test fitted to numerous buildings to enable players to reach otherwise difficult to reach rooftops in preparation for them to return to the game mode. These are not the original A-frame shape, but the newer L shape with current mechanics, allowing for much faster traversal from the zip to the rooftop. Available in Plunder at launch, they're scheduled to be bolted to the rooftops and overhangs you remember from the original Verdansk. Read more in the feature section of this blog. So this is weird. I don't know why they would do this.
Yeah. It's like they want to see if people like it or something. Like if everyone just doesn't like having zip lines, are they just not going to add them or something? I'm not sure. It just sounds like they're using Plunder as a testing ground for it. Maybe they don't know where to put them, so they kind of want to see player feedback or something and then adjust what buildings they place them on or how many buildings. I don't know. But okay.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. And I'm not sure. Yeah, we'll see where they end up being. So the lighting of the exterior map, the draw distance at range, general visibility, and haze of the map has been adjusted to enhance clarity and minimize glare. So that's obvious looking at these screenshots. However, two things. Number one, like Tanner said, having better visibility than a 5-year-old game is not a huge flex. So that's obvious in the blog post images, but how does that compare to what we have on Urzikstan right now, for example? Also, how does that compare to the video you guys just tweeted? Because the visibility looked really bad there. So,
yeah.
And then thirdly, how will this look in game? Which we will not know and cannot know until we play it ourselves. So if you look at the comparison screenshots and you say the visibility is perfect, and then you go wash your hands, don't. Hold on. Don't get too excited. We don't know how the visibility is going to be at all. So the fact that they're paying attention and talking about visibility is a good sign. But remember, they've paid lip service to good ideas all year this year and then fucking failed tremendously to actually implement it. So cool. The words are good. Will this translate to actual gameplay? We have no idea. Precedent this year says no, actually. So we'll see. We'll see. But they're saying the right words, which is a start. So cool. Because again, visibility and audio are the two most important things in a first-person shooter game, fucking obviously. So we'll see. The lighting of the interiors have been adjusted to favor more immediate spotting of enemy operators. Okay. And again, or not again, but also, what the fuck else should lighting of interiors ever mean? Whatever should the lighting of the interior favor, if not seeing people? So even pointing this out bothers me. Duh! What else are you favoring with the lighting of the interior? Yeah, that bugs me. So, paintings. Fine, sure. But, and the glare between exiting and entering interiors has been reduced. Let's remove it instead. Why is there a glare there at all?
That's huge, because that actually, I don't think that was even in OG Verdansk. I think they added that type of lighting with Warzone 2. That was like part of their realistic lighting, is like leaving a building. It's almost like your eyes had to adjust. So obviously that's good that they've changed that. But I don't remember that really being a thing in Warzone 1.
I don't either. So anyways, or to put it another way, they say minimizing the advantage of hiding in dark corners wearing a rose skin.
Rose skin is the black cell skin for season 3, by the way.
Got it. Classic. Which, of course, it is. And again, don't minimize the advantage of hiding in dark corners wearing a rose skin. Eliminate it. Eliminate it. Obviously. It's not fun dying to someone I can't see in an FPS game. There's no counterplay. Eliminate it.
Doesn't matter anymore, man. You're on controller. You don't have to deal with that.
Okay. It matters a lot less, but that's not true.
Yeah. Doesn't matter for you.
Significantly less than KVM. That's obviously true. Detail art passes and scenery enhancements have been added for areas that can benefit from it. such as additional exterior details. I'm from Memphis all of a sudden. And what do you know about me? To the fire stations, which we saw in the screenshots. An extra detritus along the riverbanks. That means trash. I hate that, by the way. We don't need extra detritus.
Yeah, that I don't want
anywhere.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's literally they're saying more shit, more trash along the riverbanks. We don't want more clutter. That's the opposite of what we want. So
some dev on their way into their studio in Venice Beach had to step over 8 homeless encampments, and they thought, oh, this would be good to add right along the riverbank. Yeah, like Venice Beach is flooded with them. Yeah. Cool.
Really hate this, but probably not that big of a deal because you're not fighting in riverbanks that often, or you shouldn't want to be, but whatever. This also extends to some new additional scattered wreckage players can use as cover. That's fine. New like cover is fine. And if it happens to be trash-y, like a blown up car, for example, that's good because it serves a gameplay purpose. But adding literal trash, I can't talk. Adding literal trash to riverbanks is not a good change. It's just more visual clutter and more shit to render. It's bad. I don't know why they do it. The HUD compass text font at the top of the screen indicating the name of the location you're at has been updated to match the current GUI. Okay. The UI has been simplified as detailed later in this blog. Very interested to see what the fuck that means. Part 2. Okay, so that's part 1. So far, so decent. I didn't love everything, but overall, I'll take this. Overall, I'll take part 1. Now, again, and as I will continue to remind you, these are words. And remember that they also wrote words about Season 1, Season 1 Reloaded, Season 2, and Season 2 Reloaded this year. And every single time, it was chocked full of lies. Chocked fucking full of them. So what percentage of part 1, 2, 3, or 10 from this blog post will actually make it to the game is a fucking great question, but I can guarantee you this won't be 100%, obviously, because they haven't been able to do that a single time yet. So if you're like, hey, part 1 was perfect, cool, you're not getting all of part 1, Billy. You're getting some of it, hopefully lots of it, but not all of it. And that's going to continue to be true for everything we go over here. So part 2, features. Content summary.
This will be the interesting one.
Yes,
Maybe.
I think it will be. Because obviously we're getting the map back, so none of that was terribly exciting. They write a lot of words. We're going to get into the details.
Yeah, let's just get
overview.
into it.
Verdansk is back. Ruck up. You're headed to the war fucking zone. And that's a verbatim quote from the blog post.
Yeah,
with the arrival
that's what they
of
say.
the most important map in history. Okay. Omni movement adjustments. Okay, here we go. Call of Duty Warzone Omni movement adjustments at launch of Season 3. Now, I want you all to keep in mind, Omni movement is literally the only thing that has functioned perfectly since day 1. Except maybe the dead slides being too often. But basically perfectly since day 1. So maybe the only thing I didn't want to be adjusted will now receive adjustments, and I fucking got it. This game's a sick joke. But let's see. Let's see what they say. Maybe they're making tax printing faster, surely. The introduction of, they're not, BO6's Omni movement, fucking Omni movement, has been, it bugs me, a major stepping stone for the game, establishing a new foundation for player movement. Initially, Warzone adopted movement values directly from multiplayer with good intent, but adjustments are needed to better align with the unique demands of Call of Duty Warzone's map and engagement styles. Okay, cool. And since the Warzone map is fucking much larger than multiplayer maps, that must mean we're going to move even faster in Warzone to compensate for the map being 50 times larger, right? Let's see. Season 3 serves as an opportunity to fine-tune player movement by slightly scaling back some of the speed increases introduced over the past several months. I've got it. So on the 50 times bigger play space, they're going to make me move less quickly than I can in multiplayer.
What are the speed increases introduced over the past several months? Like, it sounds like they're talking about post-launch speed increase. Are they talking about like changes to weapon classes? When did we receive just like base movement adjustments? Season 1 or 2? What did they do?
That's actually a great question, and maybe that is what they mean. So the most recent one was to the old guns not having the movement penalty for those mags, but they're probably talking about other shit besides that. What else was increased? I think base movement speed of all ARs was increased a little bit, wasn't it? And like SMGs maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
I actually don't know. Wouldn't it be nice if they mentioned what those things are? They don't, of course. So these adjustments bring movement more in line with what players experienced in the early days of Warzone. Okay, so yeah, I don't know what that means, but let's keep reading. Additionally, changes are being made to Omni Sprint, speed scaling, and slide friction to address the strength of strafe engagements while preserving the feel of sprint strafe reloading and general movement. I don't know what that means.
That makes sense because the strat now is just always do a crazy slide into a gunfight. And the slide's fast and it's long. And so it sounds like they're just trying to adjust that and make it a little bit slower, I guess. So that's people in our Discord were saying that, and that's what I agree with now. It sounds like they're gonna make the slide not last as long, which might be fine. I don't know. I mean, to me personally, I like all of this. As playing on KBAM, this is all just fantastic news for me. So I don't really care either way, but it all depends, yeah, how much they actually adjust this to what percentage.
The main thing I don't want them to touch is the movement speed while I'm tack sprinting with my knife out.
And it doesn't sound like they are
bug the fuck out of me.
That.
Well, they say changes are being made to Omni Sprint speed scaling. I don't know what that means. What is sprint speed scaling? What is that? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm not sure.
But everything else, like, yeah, so this is just too unclear for me to even have an opinion on, honestly. If they don't fuck with it too much, I don't even know what they're trying to fuck with. Slides, I guess, and strafe engagements. Sprint strafe reloading. So if I'm sprinting sideways while reloading, I'm going to, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're saying here. So we're actually just gonna have to wait for patch notes.
Yeah.
And then still be confused and then wait for an exclusive Ace video actually telling us what happened. Yeah. Or playing the game. God forbid a dev do that. So I'm worried, but we'll see what they do. Who knows? Anyway, moving on. Player count, infill, and shooting during free fall. Oh, God. Okay, so 150 players, original announcer, original cinematics, and shoot during infill will all be in at launch. So we are getting 150 players.
Mm-hmm.
Good. And seems like their servers can handle it after all. Because it's been, wouldn't say fine, but the same as 120. Now that we have 150 on Earth Extend. So that's good. The original announcer's coming back. So that's cool. I'll take that.
A similar accent to Captain Price. Yeah, I like that. A lot of little things like that. That's what makes the game feel original. Not getting back a kilo that's going to sound different, look different, perform different. it's a little things like that. Original sounds actually goes just a long way in general.
Totally agree. Shooting during free fall on your way down from an infill or return to action after success in the gulag, etc. You're able to switch between the gentle glide of a parachute to a free fall plummet, which is optimal if you want to clear the skies of enemies also dropping in. Shooting during free fall is back. Draw your starting weapon and eliminate foes, or cause some damage before facing them on the ground. Okay.
Oh, it's the PM pistol, that little pea shooter. The 9mm PM pistol. That's a little tiny sucker, isn't it?
I guess. Yes, it is.
That's a little baby pistol. Okay.
I fucking hate this.
I do too. I hate it a lot.
If you're on K-BAM, you should hate it especially. But even on controller, for those of you who played back in the day, you can be biffle. If 4 people are trying to line you up and they get behind you, you're dead before your feet touch the ground. Good luck counterplaying that. It just isn't fun. It's fun being the guy shooting other people, but oftentimes you won't be, and then you're dead before your feet touch the ground. There's no counterplay. I hate it. This bothers me. Yeah.
Especially if like all of your teammates try to just line up one guy.
Yes,
yeah, like
exactly.
When you're floating, you guys all need to hit like one shot and that guy's down. So
yep.
I don't like this at all. I didn't like it back then. I get that it's fun, but it's one of those things that's awful when it happens to you. So I don't want this at all. And I'm very, very, very surprised they're bringing this back, and it pisses me off. But
yeah, I'm surprised.
Obviously, they're really trying to go for the OG feel, so that's why they're doing it. Only positive here is, as we'll get to, there are no balloons. So this will only happen on infill, and that's essentially it.
Yeah.
Because dropping back from the gulag, there's going to be nobody else in the sky, so you're not going to be shooting at anybody. So it's just infill.
Okay. Well, that's the question. When I come back from gulag now, am I going to come back with a C9 with 50 rounds again? Like I do right now, if it's circle 4? Or am I going to come back with a pistol every time like I used to? Follow-up question. Imagine getting bought back circle 5, landing on some poor guy's head who's made smart rotates to get to a good position, and now being able to dump his ass before I even hit the ground, which I can't do right now, and win the game because I died with Omni movement. That's really bad stuff. So, does shooting during free fall translate to not pistols? I don't know. And also, if I get bought back from the gulag late game, will I not have a pistol? Will I have an SMG like I do right now? You get bought back circle 4 on Urzikstan, you'll come back with like a 30 round KSV. Can I now shoot that out of the air? In the air, rather. As in before I hit the ground. Those are not good. Like, either way, it's not good. I don't think this is the biggest deal in the world, but I don't think it's good. I think it's bad. Pretty much no matter how it shakes out. But I don't know. We'll have to see.
Sure. I wonder how the gulag stuff will work. It's got to be all guns, right? Because you could shoot out of the air with like snipers and stuff. So if you come back from the gulag with full auto guns, then yeah, you probably will be.
Yeah, you'd imagine. Yeah. So exactly. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. And then the infill and exfil cinematics. You get the classic one. So, okay, cool nostalgia bait. Most of this is fine. I don't love shooting during free fall coming back, but not the end of the world, so whatever. And I understand why they're doing it at least, so. Crates, armor satchel, looting, loadouts, high value loot zones, launch and mid-season. So we're getting the original supply box colors, the original floating loot, and the original armor satchel. So we can see the supply boxes here. Okay. I guess this is cool. Sure. The original colors we're getting back. And we're getting floating loot back. So here's a look at it. Everyone is extremely excited about this. I am happy that this change is happening, but I'm not over the moon or anything. Obviously. This is going to make visibility better. Hopefully, it's going to be dispersed, because everything floating on the same pixel is not going to help me very much. But I mean, this is not that huge of a change. Other than looting shelves, which is a real pain in my ass right now, if that shit's all floating instead, that's going to be a lot faster and easier. Example,
fantastic, yeah.
Looting a gas station right now, you're going to have to like spam that crouch button if you want to get everything, which just slows you down and is annoying. If that's all floating instead, it's not even on the shelves. You just run by and get it. So this is a good change. I'll take it. And floating contracts, it looks like, as well. That's also a very good change. Way more visible that way.
Yeah, giant pad versus a little tiny phone you have to find sitting on a shelf. Yeah.
Like, you literally have to ping every contract if you want to find it. Yeah. So that's cool. And then the original armor satchel is also back, enabling 8 armor plates to be carried instead of the normal 5 without the satchel. The armor satchel is found in supply crates or as ground loot. And it takes the place of the current armor satchel. All other satchel types, the ammo satchel, are removed, allowing for as close as an original Verdansk experience as possible. This is good as well.
Good, yeah, that's fantastic.
I don't know what the difference between, so the old satchel was max 12, the current one is, wait, no. The old satchel was max 8, and the current one is max 12, right? Yeah. So you have 4 less armor plates max? I don't like that at all. I don't think it's that big of a deal, to be clear, but
I don't know. Again, maybe if they're trying to go for that old feel, I get it. Because now, again, it's like you have just armor boxes constantly where it's like they don't even mean anything anymore. You just run past them because you never need them. So I don't know. It'll at least be different having to struggle. Like, dude, I can't find a plate. I need an armor box bad. I don't know. It kind of might end up changing the whole way everything's played if you have to actually go to buy stations again and buy armor boxes to find them. I don't know. I'm fine with it. It's whatever.
Yeah, I guess it's fine. The big thing here that I'm excited about
from 500 meters, so it doesn't matter if you have plates or not.
Yeah,
confirmed
sure.
And true, by the way.
Yeah, we'll see.
It is.
Wait, one-shot snipers, any range?
We'll get into it.
Okay. The main thing here, ammo satchel being gone, massive W, never should have been in the game.
Yep.
I mean, I love having one myself, but because I have, an idea that other people also can have them, I don't want them in the game, obviously, yeah. And having fucking 4 impacts is just a lot. Too much, some would say. I'm some. So this is good.
And impacts are gone, which we'll also get into.
That kind of bugs me, but we'll see.
Shut up. Yeah.
Current loot pool. Current loot user interface and current loadouts at launch. Okay. So, same ground loot, I guess? Okay, each item...
I don't understand what they're even trying to say. I don't know what this means. There's a loot pool? Is that what they're telling us? There's loot?
Yeah, what? So the loot pool is going to be the same as it is now. I'm fine with that. Remove the shotguns from it and the SVD, but okay. Current loot user interface, meaning if I look at a, 8 attachment gun or a 5 attachment gun, it'll be orange. If it's 1 attachment, it'll be green. That's all fine. And then the loadout system, I guess, is going to work the same way. Yeah. Correct.
Yeah, wild cards are still in.
And wild cards are still in the game. So, okay. About to be expected.
And this is going to be interesting because as somebody pointed out in Discord, maybe Jakin, if you can't buy your guns now at buy stations, which just certainly doesn't seem like you're able to, what's your wild card setup going to be? You might just be forced to run overkill, or else you'll never have a custom SMG, or you just do the 2 the 2 loadout strat again.
Right. And this is one of the many reasons Warzone now is better than Warzone was back then, is things like that. It was not fun or cool having to like hit both loadouts every single time to use the guns you want and the perks you want at the same time. That wasn't fun. It'll feel nostalgic having to hit both loadouts like an asshole, but it's not going to be fun, and you're going to quickly realize you don't want that. So, like, the game's changed a lot since then. Most of those improvements were good if we're talking about 5 years ago. So, yeah. We'll see. We'll get more into that. High value loot zones are going to be in at launch and mid-season. Recognizable POIs across the map may be identified as high value loot zones. Get there before the enemy and you'll be rewarded with higher tier loot than normal, with gear sometimes related to the type of POI it appears in. That's very interesting. Watch out though, the entire lobby may be on their way to claim it too. This looting meta also gets a significant update at mid-season as additional zones within named POIs begin to appear across Verdansk. Okay, so I have a couple questions about this. Are we going to get the Caldera style high value loot zones where it tells you on the map with a big fucking circle, this is a high value loot zone this game, and that changes all the time, match to match?
That's what it sounds like to me, but we also thought that last time in
exactly.
in 3.
Yeah, or is it going to be the high value loot zones? Yeah, like we have now, where they are static and never marked anywhere.
Yeah.
We don't know. I'm hoping for the Caldera style where they tell you and it changes up. That would be cool. Because then it creates dynamic hotspots each match rather than everyone going super every single game, for example. And I guarantee you that's a high value loot zone if they're static, by the way. 100%.
What is?
Superstar.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And then another thing that's kind of interesting, higher tier loot than normal with gear sometimes related to the type of POI it appears in. I don't know what this could mean. So what kind of high tier medical loot could be at hospital? Gig ultra stims. Like, what does that mean?
Or just like you're more likely to find a self revive somewhere like hospital, maybe at military base. Yeah, you're more likely to find armor satchels.
Yeah.
At a schoolhouse, you're likely to find a M4. At a police station, you're likely to find handguns and shotguns, something like that. I don't know.
But you said you're more likely to find M4 at the schoolhouse.
Yeah, something like that. That's kind of what I'm assuming.
This map's in Russia, not America, unfortunately. But fuck, that was funny. Yeah, I think you're right though. Actually, yeah, like self-reses will be more common at like hospital if that's a high value loot zone. At Millie, yeah, like a satchel could be more common.
Yeah, maybe.
That's pretty cool.
The most likely scenario though is they're just lying.
It doesn't work. Change. Obviously, it won't work. Yeah, the idea is cool, but obviously this is not going to be true. Yeah, of course. So anyway, I like high value loot zones though. I'll take this. Yeah. I will super take this. Buy stations launch in mid-season. Original buy station inventory, meaning you can't buy your guns, and original placement at launch. Okay. So here, we've got a screenshot. Before I read on, it looks like a buy station, which is cool. I want to zoom in on the menu here.
I'm zoomed in, man. It's a small menu. It's a tiny menu.
So we have a little boutique menu. So you can buy plates, a cluster, gas mask, armor box, UAV, self-res, muni box, or a loadout. A couple things to note. Loadout in this screenshot is 15K. And 2 of this guy's teammates are dead.
Oh, yeah, it is. Okay.
Yes. So the original loadout price doesn't seem like it's returning because the original loadout price was 10K regardless of squad size. I like this. I think the loadout prices now that change depending on what your squad size is just better. It makes more sense. Having to loot 10K in solos or in quads is fucking insane. So this is a good thing that they didn't change that back. Also, let's look at some prices. Clusters are 3K. Pretty fucking cheap. UAVs are 4K. Pretty fucking cheap. Buybacks are 4K.
Yeah.
More expensive than now. There is also a redeploy all button where you press a button X on, Xbox, and you will instantly buy back all of your dead teammates, assuming you have enough money. Will this work? Hopefully, because it's a cool idea. I like it once it works. I think this is great. Faster buyback.
Yeah, that's kind of one thing I expected more people to dislike, because almost like if you're playing quads and you're the last guy there and you can run and get to a buy station while people are shooting at you and some guy's about to down you, I don't know. I don't think I love the idea that he can buy back his whole squad with one button. It just, I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I don't think I like that. I think there should be the risk factor to it, but not a big deal either way.
Well, on controller, it's very easy to buy back all three.
Yeah, I guess on controller, it doesn't make a difference.
It's a very negligible difference, yeah.
There also won't be a keybind on KBAM. You're going to have to use your mouse,
like
scroll over and click on that.
100%.
And so it's going to take 3 times the amount of time, but it is what it is.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. So buyback's more expensive. UAV's still cheaper than originally, because those were 6K originally. And yeah, so what are we missing from this buy station, by the way?
Muni's 5,000, by the way, which is interesting. It's the most expensive item besides the loadout drop.
That's also
really
true. Yeah, that's also true.
Everything's unlimited.
Everything's unlimited, correct.
So yeah, we're missing guns.
We're missing guns. We're missing balloons.
Missing gulag tokens. We're missing
gulag
airstrike.
Tokens. We're missing PAs, which I love. I love that. Well, no, I hate it.
Okay.
Actually, I hate it. I hope that helps.
Yeah.
If they exist,
will they be ground
still,
loot though? Yeah.
They're going to be ground loot, and they're going to be in every original skin supply box, and I hope that helps. Yeah.
Yeah.
PA should be purchasable only and not ground loot. It looks like they've done the exact fucking opposite. So, yeah, I actually hate it. Actually.
Know what I'm bugged by the way, at the buy station menus? Why are we showing heartbeat sensors and like smoke grenades when they can't be purchased? Let's not even put that there. Don't even put that at the
original
physical buy station.
Yeah.
It bugs me. But yeah, there is we're chocked full of shit that's missing. I don't even know if we mentioned it either, but if you're listening, it's the old vertical menu. So one page, everything's vertical. Rather than now, you got to scroll through the 4 pages of the menu to find something, and then scroll down, and then scroll to the right a few times. This is all just vertical, so yeah, some nice little changes there overall. There's definitely other things missing. Let's read what they say. Where were we? Right here. It's time to retrain. Oh, yeah, this part was dumb. It's time to retrain your muscle memory and remember where all the Verdansk buy stations appeared, as these equipment hubs appear semi-randomly across Verdansk in the same place as they spawned originally. Near the comm tower just south of TV station and the parking lot of Superstore, these are just 2 of the placements from the dozens of possible buy station locations. Expect a subset of the total buy station placements to appear during each match. So yeah, they said retrain your muscle memory to remember the buy stations, and then they said they're going to be random. So don't word it that way.
And also, it's not muscle memory, even if you should have said that. Yeah, it's a disaster. But so do static buys and then change them every season and season reloaded. That's what we all like, obviously. I wonder exactly what they mean here, though, because they say expect a subset of the total buy placements to appear during each match. So it's possible that there are, whatever, I'm going to pick a number, 20 buy stations that are always in every match at the same spot that never move every time. So for example, there's always a buy station in Superstore, no matter what. And then there's another 10 buy stations that will appear at 10 of 30 random locations. So like set A of 20 buys are static always. And then set B is another 10 that are random out of 50 spots they could be in. That's kind of maybe what it sounds like they're saying here. I might actually get on board with that idea, but I don't know if that's what they mean because they've never done this before, if that's what they mean. But they say expect a subset of the total buy placements to appear during each match. So it kind of sounds like that might be what they mean. But
I don't fully, I don't understand, but
it's notoriously unclear, like every Call of Duty piece of writing ever is. So we'll find out. But overall, hate random buys, but they are liable to change this quickly. They usually do when people hate it. So we'll see. Interact excuse me. Interact with the buy, you'll discover it's pretty much identical to the original inventory interface. It is vertical. The actual inventory you can purchase has also been scaled back. The only balloons you can buy now are plunder related. Also note there are additional buy items in plunder. Okay. So yeah, no purchasable balloons. Does that mean there are also no static balloons? Probably also yes. There are probably no balloons at all. Probably no balloons at all. They did say earlier, though, that the field upgrades are going to be... Oh, wait. Current loot pool is going to be the same. Oh, no. They didn't say field upgrades, though. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. Looks like there's no balloons. So, it's true. That's going to be crazy. And it's going to be very different.
Yeah.
Very different. That's going to be the big thing that a lot of players are going to have to get used to. If you don't really use balloons super often, you should be ecstatic at this news because you were just a victim and you may or may not have known it all the time of people ballooning on your bitch ass. If you did use balloons often, obviously you know this is going to impact you a lot. Get that driver's license renewed. And that's what I always say. Verdansk is a more open map than Urzikstan is. There are a lot more trees, but that's not ideal to be running around in them. And now that we don't have balloons, you're going to have to get automotive out there. You're really going to have to. Just like we used to back in the day. So throw that trophy on that Bertha and get to moving. How will that Bertha handle? I think we're going to find out later in this blog post. But we'll see. So we're getting specialist mid-season. Spit GIF.
In the bunkers.
Oh, in the bunkers. Yeah. Okay. Spit GIF the sequel. So it's official. We're not getting the bunkers on launch, but we will be getting them. That is what I suspected was going to be the case. Looks like that's true.
Yep.
I mean, fine, whatever. I hate specialists, but it's actually not that big of a deal. So, equipment, general, lethals, and tacticals, launch and mid-season. So current Warzone equipment will be in at launch. And then also at launch, there's going to be an equipment retro refresh. Okay. Muni's and equipment available as floating loot. Take the appearance of items you remember originally. The pool of lethal and tactical equipment in Verdansk has been adjusted to be closer to what was originally available when players first dropped into the field. The list is as follows. Here will be the field upgrades that exist in Warzone. Munis, heartbeat sensors, okay, which used to be a tactical, so they're keeping it a field upgrade, which is good. Deployable cover, PDS, which was not in the original Verdansk ever, but I'm fine with it. Trophy system, loadout drop marker, Grenade and crate, they specify. Thanks, guys. Armor box and recon drone. And that's the end of the list.
Huh?
So what are we missing? PRDs.
Oh, Muni was on there. Okay, I was like, how did they not put Muni as the first one? Got it. Put
We're
Muni
missing
and Armor Box next to
PRDs,
each other. Yeah.
which is how you like launch up. We're missing balloons. And we're probably missing some other stuff I can't think of. I don't like recon drones. Just take them out of the game.
Yeah,
but
that
other than
one
that,
bugs
I'm
me.
fine with this, I guess. Yeah. They're
Yeah, I
really
am
slowing
too.
us down, is what's happening. They're lowering our literal movement speed. They're removing balloons. They're removing PRDs. So there is a lot of importance now on a vehicle buff. And they put in the roadmap image, so I'm sure we're going to get more details, what changes are coming to the vehicles. But as we know, vehicles now are much worse than they used to be back in the day. And that needs to come back if you're going to remove all of my other movement, which they have. So we'll see.
You know what I like about I like about all this too is that
no utility box either, which bugs me. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh yeah. I thought I saw it in a screenshot. I guess
Didn't
not.
ask.
When I think of Verdansk, I think of a lot of like medium and long range gunfights, and it feels like that's what we're going back to. Because like right now on Urzikstan, the game is just hitting a balloon, landing on top of another team, fighting close range, killing them, hitting another balloon. So I'm gonna like this a lot more, having probably more medium and long range gunfights. I'm excited for that.
True.
No more
Yeah.
just getting torched up close.
Yep.
Obviously, though, that will still be a lot of it, fighting in buildings and whatnot. But that's what I think of when I think of Verdansk, is like 80-meter gunfights constantly.
Yes. Yeah, because you weren't as mobile, so you couldn't just get inside someone so fucking easily and risk-free. Like, you're gonna have to be smart about like pushing up to someone sniping at you, because you're gonna have to either drive up to them where people will actually see and hear you, unlike if they balloon on you, or just walk up to them, which is dangerous, hopefully. So yeah.
Oh, no portable buy
some other
stations.
important
True.
field
Yeah.
upgrades we're missing. Yes, portable buys. I think I'm in favor of that because those are awfully strong. Flares, based. They're not very common anyway, but good. Take them out. Scramblers, which is just annoying that they're in the game, so that's good. Warcry is just, fluff, so I'm happy that's removed. And most importantly, portable radars, which are ultra common, and you may or may not know if you're on one. I still don't know if the UI tells me. So those being gone is a great thing, yeah. So I'm happy with pretty much all of those getting removed, honestly. Yeah. Yeah, this is really good.
Yeah.
So the kill streaks we're getting. UAVs, advanced UAVs, which we did have originally. PAs. Okay, so PAs are still going to be in the game, but you can't buy them at a buy station. So they will be ground loot only, and they'll be way too fucking common. Calling it now. Cluster strikes, fine. And unfucking fortunately, what was not an original kill streak, bunker busters.
That bugs me.
Boo. Fart emoji. Terrible news. Terrible news. Yep. I hate bunker busters. Remove them from the game. And they're not from the original game. Really bad stuff. Yeah. So. But whatever. Hey, remember the napalm strike that was coming to Warzone, by the way, guys? Remember how that literally never once worked ever? I remember. Wait, vividly.
Yeah. What's up with that?
Which is fine. I don't want a napalm strike in Warzone, but don't add it and then not add it, actually. One of the many... By the way, that was day one. That was day one shit, so they've been fucking up updates since the game has been integrated. Literally the first second. So... Yeah, but everything on this blog post is gonna perfectly represent what actually comes to the game, guys, right? We have no memory. Okay, idiots. Equipment. flashbangs, smoke grenades, concussion or stun grenades, decoy grenades, first L, take those out of the game, snapshot grenades, stims, frag grenades, semtex grenades, C4s, spring mines, the area denial that has counterplay, good, mollies, throwing knives. That's it.
Yeah, so what are we missing? Blast trap, impact,
shock charge, gas grenade. Very good omissions here.
Yeah.
Mainly the shock charge, the gas grenade, and the blast trap. Because those have no counterplay. This is fantastic news.
Yeah.
Fantastic news. However, I'm not giving them credit for removing something that never should have been added to the game in the first place, and it was obvious it never should have been added to the game in the first place. Right? Yeah. So, cool. Good job doing the bare minimum too late. That's what they've done. They've done the bare minimum by not having those things in the game, but they've done it too late because they were in the game for 3 or 4 months. So, cool. I'll take it. Way too late, though. And fuck you, Call of Duty. So, specifically the devs who ever thought that was a good idea, obviously. Note! Not all the field upgrades and kill streaks will be available in Verdansk at launch. Expect additional content within these equipment types at mid-season and across future seasons. That's weird. So I'm guessing like bunker busters are not going to be in at launch since they weren't in the original. That's my guess is what that means. But they'll eventually get added. So.
But they also say expect additional content within these equipment types at mid-season and across future season. Doesn't that just sound like they're adding more things outside of this list we just read? Or am I just misunderstanding? That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. They
so
sound like they're not related sentences. Yeah. Oh yeah, no impacts.
Just keep reading. The rest of this doesn't make sense either.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, I'm actually not sure what that means. And yeah, no impacts, which is my favorite lethal.
W.
And I think because they're so inconsistent, they're fairly balanced. But I'll miss them. Anyway, returning lethal thermites at launch. I don't miss these because they nerf thermites so badly in terms of how slowly they come out of your hand that I haven't used them in years anyway. But the original thermite fucked. Particularly because everyone used amped to throw it more quickly. That perk's not coming back. So how fast am I going to throw the returning thermite? If it's also slow as all fuck, probably still won't be using it, unfortunately. But that's coming back, which I guess is cool. And then...
Though not guaranteed to down an opponent?
Oh.
Does that mean if you stick somebody, it's not guaranteed to down somebody?
Then they're complete and utter dog shit if that's true, yeah.
Hold on, let's go back up to this field upgrade sentence, because you didn't finish reading that, and I'm trying to understand what this last part means. So back to the field upgrade, they said expect additional content within blah blah. Remember, this retro refresh is for items appearing as floating loot within a match. Equipment you use with a visual component, including the heartbeat sensor, for example, is likely to reflect the current model. What the fuck are they talking about? Are they saying the floating loot is going to look like the Semtex is going to look like the OG Semtex when you loot it? And what does that mean?
So the animation for the heartbeat is going to be the one we have now, not the old one. The animation for like using the recon drone is going to be the one we have now, not the old one. I think that's what that means.
Don't even tell us that. I don't care. Yeah,
exactly. That's why I didn't read it.
It just makes it confusing. Okay.
Yeah. That's why I didn't, because who fucking cares? I agree. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Don't write it. But whatever. Yeah. Yeah. So missing impacts, whatever. So this is all like fine. Because the reality is, and we're talking about this again at the end, if the game works, I can see and hear people, I'm going to like it a lot. I can take or leave balloons. I can take or leave the fucking kilo. I can take or leave a rappel here and there. Don't really, you know what? If I can hear people and see people, and if people aren't killing me under the map, and I'm not dying to a rage hacker every game, great. I'm fine. You can bar the windows at police or unbar them. I don't give a fuck. Does the game function? And that's not going to be found anywhere in this blog post. So this is way different. I'll take it.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about it more, withholding judgment, obviously, until the game launches, because I have a memory. And I remember every other update we've gotten this entire fucking year. They've been shit. Subpar, substandard, far substandard. So, yeah, and I also don't know what a thermite is not guaranteed to down an opponent means. Hopefully what they mean is if I throw it close to you, I'm not going to down you, but if I stick you, I will down you. And you're not guaranteed to stick someone. Hopefully that's what they mean. Because, yeah, if I stick you with a thermite, you should die every time. And if not, we can test it on all the devs one by one. I'll throw a thermite at you and see if you die. Just to test it, obviously. In-game is, of course, what I'm referring to. Equipment field upgrades at launch mid-season. Okay. Original armor box, deployable cover, heart. Yeah, okay. So we just got over all of those. Okay. Okay, so armor is going to be lootable or to buy. Deployable cover is loot only. Heartbeat is loot as well. Muni you can buy or loot. Recon you can loot. Trophy.
I like how they say aka the baby monitor.
Let's see, yeah. Returning field upgrade is the PDS, which is coming mid-season. That's not going to be right away. So they've now clarified what they meant earlier. I'm fine with this. Like, have only OG field upgrades on launch. Sure.
Yeah, I like that.
I like PDSs, to be clear. I think they add more to the game than I very originally gave them credit for back in Caldera. And now they're not really overpowered either. I think they're appropriately balanced and cool additions to the game. Especially because you can see them on the minimap. Okay. So at launch, we're only, as I suspected, going to have cluster strike, PAs, and UAVs. So no bunkers at launch, which is great. And then the current bunker buster is coming mid-season. Which again, bugs the fuck out of me. Terribly designed kill streak. Remove the gas component of it, and I'm happy with it. But otherwise, it's miserable.
Imagine bunker busting some guy in prom, though, man. You excited for that? He won't be able to get out.
True,
no windows
if
to
I
jump
get
out
that
of.
staircase,
In that prom interior.
True,
yeah.
That narrow ass stair. Well, no, there are those little rooms he could get in. So no, I'm not excited.
Okay.
Fuck you, idiot.
Okay.
Contracts at launch.
Oh, we're getting contracts. Okay.
Bounties, most wanteds, and scavs. Hope that helps. We're not getting recons at launch. Weren't those in the game day one? Maybe they weren't. Maybe they weren't. But anyway. Oh,
says right
returning
here,
original contracts.
contract.
Recons will also be in at launch. Yes. Okay, so fine. Supply runs will be in at launch. I don't know what this is. What is that? I forget what a supply run is. I saw you guys excited in Discord, and I was like, I don't know what this is.
Well, you know what? Thinking of it now, I was thinking. I was not thinking supply run. I was thinking the Caldera one, where you just simply blew up a stationary vehicle. What was that called? Where it pinged a vehicle 50 meters away, you destroyed it, and you got $30,000. That's what I was thinking. So supply run. This is the one you just go to a buy station and like interact with it, basically.
Oh yeah.
It pings a buy station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Supply run to buyback.
Yeah.
That was a classic combo.
Yeah.
Fuck, was it a classical combo? Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Returning feature, contract multipliers will be in at launch. An additive bonus to each completed contract payout after the first one. So this I can't stand. I hate this. You should get a static amount of money for each contract. Why? Well, contract multipliers means you are very incentived to just not fight people at all, run around, run away from every gunfight, do 8 contracts, and then you have unlimited money. Now you go camp a buy station, buy everything you could possibly want, and win the game. Which is even worse if you're doing recons only, which is what a lot of people already do, and they're massively advantaged doing it, even though they have no gunny at all. So they can win the game with literally 3 fucking kills in a BR game. Hey, that's not at all in the spirit of a BR. Don't give people knowledge that other people don't have for not having done a gunfight. And now we're adding contract multipliers, so those same people who were going to do it anyway, so recon shouldn't be in the game, are now going to have way more money than they do now because of these multipliers. I hate it. I hate it. I like the idea of contracts. I like the idea of getting a cash reward for them. Cool. But multipliers just means you get a huge bonus for not fighting other players. And like, this isn't PUBG either. This is an arcade style Call of Duty BR. You're supposed to be fighting people. So getting unlimited money, running away from people, doing fucking scavs and recons bugs me. So, and when they inevitably expand the buy station pool to have all the crazy shit we have now, Gulag token, redeploy pack, flare, specialist, juggernaut, attack helicopter, chopper gunner, then some guy doing recons who's never shot his gun before in the last 2 hours has been winning every game is going to continue farming you this way. Is it a huge deal? No, but I don't like what this incentivizes for this style of BR.
We might have to end up seeing some adjustments, because if this is giving you a lot of money, what we might see is, since like everything's unlimited too in the buy station, we might just see like crazy advanced UAV spam.
That too.
That's the worst thing I can picture happening.
On day
Spamming
one,
that.
yeah. Which is really strong, because you can get advanced UAVs for, what is it, 12K. And now if you have contract multipliers and you've done 7 recons, how much money are you going to have in quads? It's a fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
So you're going to get to your last zone, buy a buy station, hold the buy station, and then as soon as you hear one footstep or gunshot, you're going to pop it advanced, go shit your pants, come back, you'll be fine. You're not moving in a dark ass corner, which I guaranteed won't be able to see you in. And then, yeah, just pop advance for the rest of the game, even though you haven't killed anyone yet. Just too strong of a reward. Not the end of the world, though. But again, if I can see and hear people and I'm not dying to cheaters every game, fine. Do recons and have $1 billion. Not good, but I'll take it. Returning contracts mid-season. Recon contracts that will be on the train are coming back. Okay. Okay, man. This I'm actually fine with.
Yeah.
Because you're going to, like, everyone knows exactly where the train is, and if you pop a recon, they're all going to know you're doing it. So it's going to be actually
and it was
sketchy.
fun fighting around the train.
Yes, it was.
That. And so the train doesn't come until mid-season, by the way. So when this recon comes on the train, it's when the train arrives. They also didn't say anything about how the train's going to work. I almost think if it's going to have the recon on it, you're not going to be able to control the train anymore. What do you think?
That's a really great question, actually. Because, yeah, you could park it, like, under the tunnel by hospital indefinitely, and then just do all the recons you want. People will know you're there, but you can't get shot from above you. So that's incredibly strong. Too strong, some would say.
Yeah,
so,
I bet it'll
right.
be like the OG train where you can't control
probably.
anything.
Yeah. And if you can control it, you can do them indefinitely. Whereas if you can control it, you can keep it in the zone way longer. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Because the original train, if it goes into the gas for the next 90 seconds, you can't do it. So yeah, hopefully it isn't controllable. Okay, cool. Okay, so overall, yeah, I'll take all of that. So in-match public events are coming back as well. Fire sale, jailbreak, loadout drop, thank God, and restocks are going to be in at launch. Restocks were not an original mechanic, but I like them. All supply late crates on the map close and the loot is refreshed, substantially increasing the available loot. Now again, something we have to worry about is the total amount of money on the map, because they used to not have restocks, so are we going to have too much money on the map? Maybe. We've seen it before. It was the worst late stage Caldera. Everyone had billions of dollars, and I got kill streaked 2 times minimum every gunfight because it was just so cheap and easy to get shit because everyone had $1 million. So with contract bonuses coming back and resupply boxes, how's the money situation going to be? We'll see.
That's really all it comes down to. That's the same thing with the contract bonus too, because now it's like it's not in the game now. There's almost more money than ever on
and high value loot zones
right now.
Yeah.
Like you guys constantly just have $80,000 as a team. So if they substantially reduce the amount of money you find just scattered around the map and they keep the contract bonus, it might be better than what we have now, actually. And just because you can't buy as much, it's like, yeah, like I said, the worst thing is going to be an advanced UAV, which would get annoying. That's
really good, to be fair.
Yeah, but you still have to like fight people. If somebody's doing 8 recons and buying a bunch of advanced UAVs, you're going to have the gunny to kill them. It's just going to be like in the past where they might be on some stupid roof, but it's like those advanced UAVs aren't going to help them win the game. It's just because they're rats at that point and they did 8 recons. They know where the circle is going to end. So I don't know.
Sure.
I don't think it's that terrible.
Well, I mean, I don't think you're going to see those people very often because you still don't. So yeah, I don't think it's the end of the world, to be clear, but advanced are really fucking good. They can help people kill me, even if they're rat fucks. And especially if they're all on a rooftop that I can't balloon to anymore. And they're all sniping and one-shotting me from 500 meters again.
See, I think the no balloon thing...
So...
Yeah. See, I think the no balloon thing actually makes advanced UAVs worse, though. Because like, imagine how you guys do it now. You pop an advance, you hit a balloon, you go land on a team because you know you're there. You can't do that anymore. So you pop an advance, you're like, darn, there's no teams around. I got to get in a car and start driving. Your advanced UAV is gone by the time you get over there. So
yeah,
I think
but if you're a recon rat, you're not moving anyway. So you just get info on who's coming to you. I mean...
It goes both ways, but yeah.
It does go both ways. True. So, yeah, and we'll see. But my big worry... Not big, because ultimately I don't think it's a big deal no matter what. They're going to be adding more shit to buys. So if they keep the contract bonus going, which they're almost certainly not going to stop doing that if they're going to re-add it. You know, Season 5, Season 6, Season 4 Reloaded, they're going to add more goofy shit to buy stations. They're going to add specialists. They're going to add bunker busters. They're going to add who the fuck else knows. And that's when it's going to probably be even worse. But whatever. It's not the end of, like, this is not the worst thing that they've ever done. It's not a 2v2 gulag with a jailer. So, like, I'm not that annoyed at any of this. So, anyway. Original capture the flag gulag variant. I did not remember this. But before the overtime was the capture the flag. It wasn't the rappel. I like this better. Because you can hit that rappel quickly, man. And it sucks getting zipped on a lot. So this is cool.
Oh, the rock throwing from cell blocks above his back, which means you can just kill people again constantly.
And where you can tell your teammate where the other guy is.
Yeah, I wonder if that'll be in the game.
Well, it's in the game right now. It just doesn't happen very often. I think because we never die. But
Is it?
Yeah.
Could you see your teammates fight in the gulag?
100%. It happened to me.
I don't think so. Really?
Okay, retard. Yeah, it happened to me 2 days ago. I was outside the gulag and I was telling Jake where the guy was. Yep.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think I've seen that in like 2 years. Because I thought they had claimed they got rid of that you would never be in the gulag with your teammate.
Maybe they did, but they lied.
think that literally was a change when Warzone 2 came out. Oh yeah, I didn't even know it was a possibility anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So anyway. And yeah, hey, listen. You guys are talking about me and how I like It's Iron. I've died to Grits, who does the same shit way too many times, and he's not good enough to be running my shit over easily as many times as he has. And every time is because he's done 8 recons. They have a portable buy in the last zone, and it fucking bugs me. Okay. When the game is 6 months old and you're getting a bunch of wins, it's different than doing it 5 fucking years later, being level 1000. And anyway, I'll leave it at that. If you really want to play that way, fine. It's a video game. I don't respect it though. Especially, it bugs me. Don't do it. But it's the dev's fault. It's not the player's fault. It's not the player's fault. Because of course some people are going to do it. So anyway. Anyways. Yeah, so the Gulag's coming back, the original one, with the capture the flag. I like this. It took a while, by the way, to capture that flag. In case you guys don't remember. I literally forgot about this until right now. It's been years since I've thought of this. But that flag takes a minute. It takes way longer to capture that flag than it does to finish your rappel currently in the Gulag as the tiebreaker mechanic. So you're actually gonna have to fight someone, probably. So this is fine. And the Gulag is gonna be Gulag showers like the original, obviously. So there you go. Verdansk vehicles and rebalancing. Here we go. At launch, we will have a heli, a cargo truck. Okay. The LTV. Is a cargo truck a Bertha? Is that what that is?
Yes.
Okay. The Polaris Razor Pro R4. They call it a heli, and then they say the exact brand and model. Heli, Polaris RZR Pro R4, and ATV. Yeah. Got it. Okay. Classic. It's not a Honda ATV 3-stroke 200 whatever. I'm an expert on ATVs. As the topography of Verdansk sometimes favors rapid transportation across the dangerous open terrain, which is all true, it's worth test driving the 5 different vehicles coming to the big map, including the return of a fan favorite helicopter. So it's official. We're getting the original chopper back. Will it handle like the original chopper is the question. Read on. All vehicles are available in the same set of locations to those that appeared in the original map. Additionally, there are no tire punctures or fuel refilling to worry about. Each vehicle has a health meter, and when it reaches 0, it explodes and flames out just as it did originally. Good. Nice. We got a little too carried away with fucking fuel. So, Airwing Marine. All vehicles are receiving a tuning pass. This rebalancing is designed to ensure these handle and steer in the spirit of the original iteration of the game, with more rapid acceleration and handling. God bless. God bless the United States, and God bless Donald Trump. And I know what that clip is from. Yeah. Fantastic news. Obviously, this has to happen if you're going to remove balloons, which they've done. Will they do it? And to what degree? Again, are entirely separate questions. Remember the patch note where they said quick fix now works as intended? Oh, wait. Which one? Because they said it 4 times before it was true. So keep that in mind. Hey, the words are cool. Great words. These are the words I'd want to read about vehicles. But is it real? We will not know until we play. So hopefully it is true. And if it's not, when it's not, hopefully they can fix it quickly rather than taking fucking months like it took them to fix Quick Fix. Because if we have to go months with shit vehicles, yikes. Without balloons, yikes, man. It's going to be slow as fuck. It's going to be even slower than you remember it, in fact, because on day one of Warzone, player movement speed was way slower, but the vehicles were zippy as shit for the entire time. So if they remove balloons and can't figure out the vehicles for months and months, like they couldn't figure out Quick Fix for months and months, it's going to be even slower than you remember, which is slower than you remember. So yikes, big fucking yikes. So we'll see. I'm hopeful, but I don't know. Anyway, helicopter, aka heli. Thanks, guys. I couldn't figure out what heli meant, so I appreciate that. A stalwart aircraft for maneuvering across the map with haste. Should settle down.
Yeah, classic.
And with rotor blades that can double as slicing and dicing implements. Okay. So the heli allows for 4 players, including the pilot, to fly. Okay, so cool. The heli's coming back. It's official.
It's official.
The berth is coming back. And it's parked at every fire station, by the way, by default. Was that the case before?
They were often at fire stations for sure. They were always parked there, like in their
by
little
storage,
bay.
Right?
I remember that.
Yeah. Okay, well, cool. Either way, I like that. Cool. Okay. The LTV, which takes the place of the SUV from the original Verdansk. Okay. That's interesting. I wonder why they did that. The original SUV, that thing flipped easily. That did not have ABS, and I know what that stands for. And how it relates to a vehicle flipping.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
maybe that's why this has got a wider wheelbase. It's possible. I'm fine with that. Although it was fun driving the old SUV because it was fast and it was so easy to flip, you had to be careful. Imagine flipping your SUV. Anyway, whatever. The Polaris Razor Pro 4 R4. I like that this is the one vehicle we're keeping because coincidentally, this is also the one vehicle in Urzikstan worth a fuck. This thing actually handles quite well currently, like right now. So this staying when Verdansk comes, I'll take it. I'm happy with that. I think that's cool. So it's going to be like faster than the LTV, but you're obviously a lot more exposed. And then the ATV as well.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Now we get the model. The Congo Off-Road 4x4. There we go. Is Congo a real brand? You would know, River Rat.
Oh, you're talking about the ATV?
River Rat.
Oh, I have no clue. I don't think so.
The Congo Off-Road 4x4? Okay. Didn't ask. All right, Verdansk circle collapse facing on launch. Wow. Okay, so this was one of the points Tanner brought up to me because he saw it on Twitter. And if we had not seen this on Twitter, it never would have occurred to us. But the original length of a Warzone match and the length of a Warzone match now was a lot different. It was like 26 to like 22 minutes. And that might not sound like a lot, but it is. That's a big fucking deal split across whatever, 6 circles. That means you have, 40 seconds less or something on each circle, which is actually quite a bit of time. So that tweet had said something like, I wonder if we're getting the original timing, because it's not going to feel like original Verdansk if we have to rotate as often as we do now. So let's see what they say. The collapsing circle of acrid gas. Okay. Just, that suffocates stragglers. Stop. I'm actually reading this because it's so insane. The collapsing circle of acrid gas that suffocates stragglers and forces operators to rotate into ever-shrinking arenas performs similarly and relentlessly, just like in the original map. Way too extra. Stop. Expect loadout drops during the 2nd and 5th of the 6th circle collapses in a wide variety of final locations to claim victory at. Though dead zones, endgame areas which lack cover or maneuvering choices, are being minimized to lessen matches that conclude like the infamous Verdansk Stadium endgame, where it was almost impossible to extricate any teams dug in on the roof. So this was something you talked about as well in our flyover ep, where you said part of the fun of Verdansk was games that would end on the edges of the map, because there were the hills and the trees, and that's kind of all you had to play.
Yeah,
and that was really
zones.
fun. But nowadays, we have doctored end games where they're fake and they always end in one of 3 spots. And if that comes back, it's not really going to feel like original Verdansk. So they say they're going to minimize, stadium endings. And with a closed stadium, that's a good thing. But does that also mean that we're not going to get any end games at the north above Millie tree line? Because that would be a shame. Is it a great place for the game to end? No, it's not. It sucks, actually. Because if you're down low, you're fucked. And if you're up top, you win. But a better example maybe would be, far east of Lumber. Those trees and hills, fun. Not super disadvantaged. Are they going to qualify that as a dead zone? I hope not.
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of what my thought was too, because they're talking about dead zones. And I'm like, well, those sound like the fun areas that I was expecting to have games end in. But it's probably just the way they word it again. Because like stadium, that obviously is literally a dead zone if the circle's ending in stadium and you can't get to it. Obviously, yes. So I'm not sure entirely what this means, but I was expecting them to say something about the pace of the actual circle timings, and they just didn't. So, okay. They're just not even going to mention it, I guess.
You know what's weird about that, Tanner? Is I also expected that naively because the title of that paragraph is Verdansk Circle Collapse Pacing.
Yeah.
But curiously, they don't talk at all about that in the section. You're right.
They say the gas hits hard. Okay. Remember how when people used to actually die to the gas? Because you couldn't outrun it.
Yep.
And then couldn't get a vehicle or anything. That'll be interesting. Got to keep an eye on that now.
Yeah.
That's something you literally do not think of ever anymore. But you used to have to think about back then. You're like, oh, should we land out here? We're so far from the zone. We got to make sure we get a vehicle.
Yeah, you're right. The only time I ever die running into zone is if I come back and get too greedy trying to get my loadout shit. That's the only time ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I'm not super keen on that coming back. I just want the original length of games coming back. But we don't know. So, cool. Map interactive elements. Vertical ascenders will be at launch and mid-season. And they will be interior and exterior. Interior ascenders. Like the, I don't know what this word is. S-L-U-I-C-E?
Sluice.
Sluice. You ever heard that before?
Yeah, but not used in this term.
Weird.
I've heard it in like off-roading, like going up a sluice.
Okay. Anyway, like the sluice towers of Gora Dam, so where the original ones were, the inside of ACT or the hospital elevator are accessible at launch in all modes. So the original ones we had, or not original, but very early ones.
Yeah.
Good. Exterior ones are also planned for inclusion in Verdansk. To maintain the classic feel of Verdansk, expect none of these exterior ascenders to be available at launch in BR, only in Plunder, except in a few very particular areas where a rival team could exploit the verticality of a building to reach a power position that is almost impossible to overrun. Yes, that means the stadium will be getting ascenders on day one. Okay, good. Almost everywhere else, gameplay will be focused on other means of traversal, just as players did 5 years ago. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Then as Season 3 progresses, we're going to add more. Got it. Original train station interior access is coming mid-season. Along with a surprise or two.
Yeah. So we had it right. We figured it out.
We did. So the surprise being opening stadium as well, and maybe having those stupid fast travel stations re-added and also not work to get the original 5 years ago feeling of Verdansk. Yeah. Because they never worked as intended, not once.
No.
So the original moving train is also coming mid-season. Oh, here we go. Moving along a predetermined path. It can't be controlled by operatives yet.
Yeah, what's with that?
So you will be able to control it and do unlimited recons on it. That's going to be really fucking strong.
Don't love that.
Hate it. Yeah. Hate that. But you'll know where they are. You'll know if someone's doing it. So it's something. Hopefully they're super hot. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, again, I'm parking it in that tunnel all day. And if you want to push me, you're going to have to come from one mouth or another. And I'm going to be in the only like good cover in that entire tunnel. And it's going to be real hard to kill me out of it. And I'm just going to do endless recons. So kind of hate that. One thing they could do, I mean, they could do a lot of things, they won't, is like you only get progress toward completing the contract if it's moving. That would be cool. But I mean, will they do that? Of course not. So not a huge deal either way, but yeah. Redacted interior access is mid-season. So this is obviously
more redacted bunkers.
Yeah.
Oh, I figured that was bunkers. Well, it is talking about bunkers also.
Oh, wait. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's bunkers. Yeah.
New areas both on the surface and within subterranean redacted across Verdansk. Across Verdansk implies bunkers, yes. Are being actively monitored for signs of redacted. Additionally, partially redacted reports of redacted that haven't been seen redacted, also tracking intel that redacted. I just can't.
Okay.
I can't stand. It's fine when they do this, but it is kind of annoying. Additional quality of life improvements at launch and mid-season. Okay, so we have an image here.
They are.
So the redeploy all button that we've seen, the death recap, which is literally worked in multiplayer before. I don't know if it's ever worked in Warzone, but it certainly doesn't now. Because it'll say I've received 612 damage from a KSV that shot me 800 times, and that's not possible. And also, this is a fake screenshot because it says Raven Software is playing the game in this death recap. That's not true. So, got it. But what's new is affected by unsuppressed weapon, live ping, and recon drone. Will any of this ever work? I doubt it so strongly, actually.
The funniest part is, the one thing Jake has been begging for 2 years now is the part that's not in the detailed death recap, which is the enemy player's health. Yeah. That does not show in it, by the way.
Yep. Yeah.
So
this is a great idea, but I just have no faith they'll implement this correctly. Yeah.
Well, it's also like affected by an unsuppressed weapon. Why the fuck do I care?
It means you shooting your unsuppressed gun if you died while you were on the minimap for that reason. That's why. I think that's what they're going for, which I like.
Okay.
I mean, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, that's completely useless information. Yeah. Couldn't matter less.
So, whatever. But yeah, you're right. When you weapon inspect now, it'll show you a list of what attachments are on that gun.
That's
this
cute.
Is very cool. If you pick up some guy's gun and you're like, oh my God, I like this build, it fries. You can inspect it and then copy the attachments down. Or if you feel like the ground loot C9 is always better than your C9, you can find out why by looking at its attachments. Field upgrades in the squad widget. I can't believe we don't have this already. Day one shit, but cool. Prioritize your favorite loadout in the gunsmith. I don't even know what this means.
You can favorite a loadout now, but if it's like loadout 3, it's favorited, but it still just stays as a third one on the list. So, okay. But then when you go in game, that favorite one shows up as the top.
Okay.
So, got it.
Yeah. And then a HUD loadout icon when buyable. In case you can't read the number 15,000. What? I don't know what that means. Let's see what they say more about it. Okay. So this is going to be at launch and mid-season. So at launch, I'll be able to press one button and buy back all my teammates. At launch, I'll be able to weapon inspect and view attachments. So far, very good stuff. So yeah, now when you favorite your loadout, it moves to the top of the list in the gunsmith. Okay. Don't put this in the patch notes. Don't highlight it in the patch notes. Put everything in the patch notes. TAC map zoom and centering settings. New TAC map settings under map assist. They love the word assist. Mantle assist, crouch assist, slide assist, sprint assist. Yeah. Map assist offers improved control options. Auto zoom and center, auto center, whatever. Detailed death recap widget. So yeah, if you die because you got live pinged, it's going to say that that happened. If you were on like a UAV, it'll probably say that. If you were on a portable radar, when those inevitably get added back, it should say that. And again, I have no faith this will ever work as intended. They've never done it yet. So, would be cool. Don't believe it. So, by the way, note Raven Software's Fang build. He's got...
That's quite the Fang, man.
He's got a laser on it. Okay. And he's got what appears to be a thermal optic on it.
I think it's just the ACOG zoom optic.
Do not play their own game, even if it's that.
Yeah.
Even if it's that. They don't. They just don't. Raven
the map
Software,
looks clean in
the
this image, by the way. That visibility and everything looks nice.
Yeah, it does. I agree. Although the operator blends an awful lot with the color of the entire map, which I'm just now noticing.
Imagine the default military operator is going to be the meta one, not Rose. Could be.
I mean, bro, look how blended that is. Those are the same color.
Uh-huh.
So that's a little yikesy. But we'll see. I have to play the game to know. So as the season progresses, the death recap will roll out. So that's cool. You'll see field upgrades in the squad widget. Ping duration settings. A new setting has been added that lets you control how long pings stay on your screen. Okay, cool. Secrets of Verdansk redacted content at launch and mid-season. Between March 2020 and December 21, Verdansk was an active map. There were a lot of hidden items. When you return, so this is Easter egg shit. So go watch.
Don't read that ever again.
Go watch a video. Okay, part 3. Season 3 maps, modes, events, and initial weapons details. Okay. Even the classic loading screen is back. Cool. Loot, upgrade, survive.
And survive. Yeah,
That's
I've been telling you guys that for a while. Yep.
Yep. It's a fond farewell to Urzikstan. It's not. It's an acerbic, hateful farewell to Urzikstan with a spit gif. Yeah. Popov power. As players wanting to drop into the current big map have around 1 week left to do so. Thank God. Also, it's an au revoir, but not goodbye, to Area 99, as the Nevada test site goes on hiatus for a limited time. Area 99 updates to make it a good map. I welcome that.
Okay, stupid fuck.
I mean, obviously that's not happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
Returning maps, Verdansk and Rebirth. So Verdansk will be in at launch. Rebirth will be in the launch window. Okay, so yeah, Verdansk will have 25-minute matches and 150 players.
Okay, so yeah. And Ur's matches were
bitch?
20 minutes. That's what chat said, and I looked it up to confirm. They say 20 minutes. So 5 minute longer matches. Cool.
That's almost 1 more minute per circle. That's a lot longer. So this is going to feel very much like the original.
Exact. Yeah.
The original length. So that's good. Especially if we're removing balloons, we're going to be slower. So we need a little more time to rotate. So cool. Very cool. Okay, this I'm very curious about because I saw this in a picture, but I don't know what it is. BR Casual will be in Verdansk at launch. It'll be 148 players because that extra 2 is a little too sweaty. Players and bots. Wow. 28 players and up to 120 bots. Okay.
Yeah, so only 28 players,
So this is shit. Yeah, it's Warzone boot camp. I'll be dropping PRs here and posting them pretending it's real BR.
Yeah.
I hope that helps. By the way, the bots, if you've never played Warzone boot camp, are utter fucking dog shit trash. They'll never kill you, so. Plunder Quads is 100 players, 20-minute matches. Didn't ask. Boot camp is also going to be in. Cool. At launch. And then returning Resurgence. Rebirth Island at the launch window. 44 players, 15-minute matches. Okay. And then BR Ranked is going to be on Verdansk with 150 players.
Yeah, there it is.
It's going to be trios. And it's going to be Verdansk. And it's going to be mid-season. We've never had ranked Warzone with 150 players with Omni Movement. So this is going to feel different. It's going to feel different. The mode that never quite made it to Verdansk. Don't say it didn't quite make it to Verdansk. It didn't make it to Verdansk by a long shot, actually. Or Caldera. Or wait, did it make it to Caldera?
No.
No, it didn't. It didn't quite make it to Verdansk at fucking all.
We got ranked at when the game was at its worst.
At its absolute worst, yeah. True. Yep.
Oh, nice. A marijuana themed LTM for 420. Let's go.
Yeah, more modes at mid-season. So, oh, cool. There's going to be an event. Return to Verdansk on April 3rd, on the day of season 3, or the day after. It's a free event with 20 rewards, 6 instant unlocks for new and veteran players. Okay, you got a special operator skin. We'll do it. Safes have a rare chance of awarding an event-exclusive operator skin. Okay. And then here's some of the shit you're going to get. Oh yeah, 2 of these original operator skins. The Kilo, a parachute skin. Cali sticks for doing all of the event. W. Different colored contrails. A gun screen like the original ones we had. And another skin. Cool. So the Kilo's coming back. Okay. If you don't take advantage, optionally, via a special free trial, of leveling up the Kilo in the previous 24-hour countdown between the time the premium game in Warzone launched, the weapon becomes available now. I mean, I think that means like on April 3rd rather than the 2nd.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So, okay. Cool.
And it's confirmed they're not doing nuts, what we...
by the way.
Yeah, certainly. They're not doing what we had been talking about. They're not unlocking everything. So we'll see how this goes long term.
Yep.
And then I was thinking like, oh, this, the casual mode. My original thought was, well, one, it would have way more players. I'm like, oh, that's probably the mode. Everything will be unlocked, but like your stats don't track, something like that. I mean, I expected with 150 player lobbies, like there would be like up to 75 players, but once I saw it was like 28 humans, I'm like, oh, doesn't matter if everything is unlocked anyways. That'd be horrific to play. You're rarely even going to see another real person playing that mode. It's just all going to be bots, so it doesn't matter. So I don't know. We'll see how this goes.
I don't like it. So there's only a 24-hour window to unlock that gun. And a lot of people are not going to come back before Verdansk. They're going to come back for Verdansk, obviously. So they're going to miss out. And then they say, oh, don't worry. If you don't play it at that time, you can unlock the kilo through the armory. Okay, your armory is way too hard to find, even if you know about it, which a returning player won't know about it. And also, something I learned recently, you don't unlock the armory itself until you're like level 24 or something. Returning players are going to be level 1. So they're not going to have the kilo, and they won't even be able to start unlocking it until they're level 24. Which, if you're a shitter fuck, that's going to take a while. All of that without a kilo. Kind of sucks.
Wait, does it say you get the kilo through the armory? Did it say that?
If I believe so.
I think everyone just gets it. I think the 24-hour thing is just saying you can level it up early. But then once you log on, it sounds like everyone has it, right? If you don't take advantage, optionally via a special free trial.
Okay, I think you're right. Yeah, so never mind. Okay, yeah, everyone's going to get it then. I thought it was the April 2nd to April 3rd thing, but I think you're correct.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, you're correct. You're correct. Okay, so never mind. I take that back. Okay, good. So they're giving everyone the kilo, basically. You can unlock it via the armory if you don't log in until after the event, which is April 15th. If you're coming back for Verdansk, you will have logged in by then. So yeah, this is fine. Okay, cool. So here's more on the event. Whatever. The main thing is people are getting the kilo, which is going to be meta. It's going to be nuts, almost certainly. Or it should be. We'll see what happens with the event. I don't care about any of this shit. You get loading screens, weapon charms, of course. Got it. And then you get Cali sticks. So, woohoo.
Yeah.
A new grind set. Initial weapons detail. Okay. Prior to the Season 3 blog, which we got today, which fully details all the incoming weapons and special attachments, is we're detailing the weapons confirmed so far. So the kilo will be coming back. It's got 42 weapon levels. Okay.
Got it.
Returning players will have no weapon XP tokens, by the way. It has attachments on it.
It does.
And it has customized options. It's a full auto AR with an ergonomic design that improves handling and a steady fire rate helps stay on target. It's a kilo. You guys know what it is. So that's cool. The CR56 fucking AMAX is also coming back. Woo! It's going to be in the Battle Pass on page 6, which is fairly early, so that's good. But you have to finish all of page 6, so. It's also got 42 levels. It's a lightweight 7.62, full auto AR. It's compact and powerful. And they write more words about it. Okay. Getting the AMAX and the kilo back. Are they going to balance them in the correct way? That's the question. Fuck, is that the question?
What's up with this, by the way? When it talks about the AMAX, keep in mind this is a Warzone specific blog post. AMAX is a perfect mid-range weapon for downing targets fast. Eliminate enemies in 3 to 4 shots up to 25 meters out. What does that mean? Oh, well, but then the next sentence says, leaving plenty left over to chew through equipped armor. So it's just saying 3 to 4 shots on an unplated enemy. Okay. Don't fucking tell me that. I don't care.
That also implies
everybody always has plates
through armor and then shoot at the armor. It's retarded. Yeah.
I know.
This was written by AI, by the way.
Yeah, okay.
You're right. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, okay. Because I was like, what are they, just like removing 100 health from the game or something? Okay. I've got it. The HDR's coming back.
And then the HDR is coming back. This is going to be on page 3 of the Battle Pass. This has 38 levels. Jesus Christ. Anti-material. Bolty. Chambered in 12.7 by 108. I know all
NATO?
about that round. That is, I don't know. Bullets have a lower muzzle velocity, but remain devastating even at very long ranges. I don't remember the HDR having a low velocity, by the way. I remember it being kind of nuts, but maybe I'm misremembering.
I think that's what they're doing now. So it sounds like it's going to one shot, and other snipers will also one shot, but maybe they're just lowering the velocity. Let's read what it says.
Well, do they talk in this blog post about the snipers thing you were leaking?
No, that was in the podcast.
What did they say? Give us the rundown, because that's important now at this time.
I'm listening to it right now. He said, I'm happy to say if you can pull it off, you can knock somebody from 500 plus meters away. So they don't exactly say they're one shot, but he says that. And then they also say here, bullets have a lower muzzle velocity, but remain devastating even at very long ranges. So it's not confirmed, but like even Charlie Intel and everyone's like one-shot snipers coming back, and we've been flagged for hate speech. We've said a lot of hateful things. So yeah. So not technically confirmed, but it certainly sounds that way.
Yeah.
We don't know what snipers though.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll all just be similar to like the cat.
Yeah. Yeah. Lots of good questions there. That does sound like the HDR can one shot at any range. It would also be incredibly weird if this can, but the cat AMR can't. But the Moors can one shot at any range right now, and it's the only one that can. So maybe it'll only be those two, which I guess I'm fine with. But then are they going to rebalance? Like, what's the Moors velocity right now?
But then, when it talks about the gun here, at the end it says, add the reinforced barrel attachment to further extend your damage range and bullet velocity, and don't forget to hold your breath for difficult shots. So yeah, you can extend your damage range for like body shots, but the way they even include that, talking about extending your damage range, almost makes it sound like use that to extend your one-shot range instead of it being infinite. I don't know.
Yep.
Nobody knows.
That is what that sounds like. You're right. I agree. Yeah. So I don't know
I'm
either.
just even more confused now. Yeah.
This we're going to have to wait on, but I mean, snipers right now in Publix are extremely ultra common, and they can't one-shot at any range. Most of the time when I get sniped, it's not by like a Moors. So we get another one. Yeah, we'll see. I gotta play the game because it's a different map too. So yeah, we'll see. We're getting Cali sticks. I'm not reading it. And then part 4. Prepare for season 3 now. Okay.
Prepare.
Okay, so this is important. April 2nd at 9 a.m. Pacific is when season 3 launches, but that's not when Verdansk launches. Prior to the March 27th words, season 3 is planned to roll out across 2 separate days. On Wednesday the 2nd, multiplayer ZOMs, the battle pass, and general content will launch. April 3rd at 9 a.m., Warzone content launches. Warzone's going to be a day behind, which is fine. And that's the date they've given us, so it's not like we're getting screwed out of a day. Verdansk launch sequence. Be sure you preload the content files.
I'll see if I have space. I'll check.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Warzone will completely shut down for 24 hours from the 2nd till the 3rd. So keep that in mind. And there's going to be a free trial for multiplayer and zombies. And Warzone's a free-to-play game. So you might be thinking, oh, well, I'll just level fun guns on the second. You've been aimbotted. We'll see. There are tons of cheaters. Who knows? And then they give a lot of other details that don't matter. And then some more shit. The Call of Duty Verdansk collection. This is obviously, some cool shit.
Yeah, this is cool looking.
Like a mug, a sweatshirt, t-shirt.
That shirt is cool looking. I like the design of everything.
Yeah, I do too. A map poster, which is very dope. I refuse to buy any of it unless the game's good, so I won't be buying it now. But I would love to buy some of this if the season's done well, which is a possibility.
I need some art for the new house, man. Should I get this Call of Duty Warzone Verdansk camp flag for only 60 United States dollars? Surely it cost them $3.80 to produce, and they're also going to charge me $18 to ship it, I would imagine.
It's $60?
Yep. Oh my God. Dude, yes. I'm expecting like a 3-foot by 5-foot flag. It's like this big. It's 16 inches by 24 inches. It's smaller than... It's not even as big as the side table. That's the craziest thing I've ever fucking seen.
That is insane.
Yeah.
The hat is $32?
That's not that outrageous. That's somewhat bog standard, kind of. The shirt's even whatever.
$37 for a t-shirt?
That's pretty common.
Is that normal now?
But the flag is crazy.
Dude.
It depends on what kind of shirts you're buying, yeah. But it's a little on the higher end, I think, but not outrageous like the flag.
Interesting.
The flag's the size of my keyboard, and it's $60. I could just buy a new keyboard. That's cool.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, hopefully the game's good so I can buy it. And then Call of Duty's Warzone Verdansk credits. This is actually relevant. Beanox. Okay. Raven Software, who's done a terrible job of Warzone this year, so don't love to see that. And High Moon Studios. Okay. Additional support from Activision Shanghai, Central Tech, Sledgehammer, and Treyarch. Hate to see Treyarch as well, because they've also fucked up the servers a lot. Original map design by Infinity Ward. Notice Infinity Ward was not mentioned as credited or supporting. That's the best news of all. Fire Infinity Ward. Fire them. So they didn't get their grubby fucking awful hands on this and corrupt it. Good. Does that mean, that's the blog post, does that mean this will be a good update? Fuck no, it doesn't. Will this be a good update? Probably not. So, just like I've been selling you guys since season 2, I believe it is. They've done nothing correctly this entire year. Not once. So, if you read all this and you were very excited because it all sounds very good, I agree with you. Most of this does sound really good. These are good ideas. Some of it I'm not super keen on, but none of this is that bad at all. I really want details on the Omni movement changes that they very vaguely and poorly explained. I want more, well, that's actually kind of it. That's the only thing I'm like kind of unclear on. I think there were some other things. I forget them now. But there are 3 big concerns for me. Number 1, can I see people? I think it's going to be pretty likely that outside I will be able to see people. That is a massive improvement over the original Verdansk. A massive improvement. On the original Verdansk, I couldn't see anyone ever. It had dog shit visibility. That is almost certainly going to be better, even if they fuck this update up a lot. Because it almost can't get worse than the original Verdansk. So imagine seeing people on Verdansk is what I always say. That's going to be cool. Outside. I'm pretty confident I will be able to. In buildings, They talked about it a little bit. That doesn't mean much. There's about, in my opinion, a 20% chance there will be acceptable visibility on enemy players in a building.
Yeah.
About 20%. It is very unlikely, as far as I'm concerned, that I'll be able to see people inside. Just like I can't see them inside on Urzikstan right now. Now, could they fix that problem if they wanted to? Yes, they did it on Urzikstan last year and then rebroke it with the integration. I've got it.
They did.
That is concern number one for me, being able to see people. Concern number two is audio. I also, in the original Verdansk, could fucking never hear anyone ever. Ever. Unless I was at Quarry on sheet metal. Okay? So the audio is going to also be better than the original Verdansk. Okay? So if the original audio and visibility is way worse back then than it almost certainly will be now, this will be an improvement over a 5-year-old game. Cool. That doesn't mean that much. I don't care that much. The more important question, as Tanner pointed out hours ago, how is the visibility going to compare to what we have now on Urzikstan? That's a good question. Inside buildings can't get worse. Can get a lot better. Don't think it will. Audio? Actually, quite good. Sometimes I don't hear people, but honestly, it's fairly rare. With the exception of zip lines, which I never hear ever, even though I could hear it last season post-integration, because the game fucking sucks and the devs suck. They break the zip for audio for no fucking reason. Besides that, the audio is quite good right now. It's not perfect. I don't think it ever can be. So I'll take the footstep audio. Will we get that with a new map on day one? I put the odds of that at 5%. 5% chance. You know what's going to happen? We're going to get some fucking blog post for Season 3 Reloaded that says, hey guys, sorry, some of the stapler assets were actually rendering, as far as our audio was concerned, as bunkers. So that's why you couldn't hear anything ever randomly. Good luck, we fixed it. Then they're not going to fix it, and then the footstep audio might be where we are now in Season 4. So I have exceedingly little faith that we're going to keep as good of footstep audio as we have now. Zipline audio,
that on a brand new map, that will be worse.
Exactly, 100%.
It'll take them 2 more seasons to fix it.
100%, which is a shame. Zipline audio, I don't know, but there aren't going to be that many zips, I guess, on launch. So probably going to be unchanged from now. No one's going to think about it because they're going to be all caught up in the nostalgia and there aren't zips. And then all of a sudden they're going to add the zips and people are going to freak the fuck out because they're going to get zipped on with no audio. And then they may or may not attempt to fix it on Season 4. And it may or may not actually be a successful fix. All of this could have been avoided, by the way, if we just didn't break the zipline audio that already worked perfectly last season. So cool. Oh, but we're getting Verdansk back, guys. Woohoo! And then big concern number 3, obviously, should be, hey, this all sounds cool. Will any of this be true? How much of it will be true? I think some of it's going to be true. But again, remember, and you can't forget this, Season 0, Season 1, Season 1 Reloaded, Season 2, Season 2 Reloaded post-integration. We got blog posts and patch notes for. Not one of those times, literally, was the patch notes or blog posts representative of reality. Never. Not once. They got close sometimes. Up to 80%. Maybe, with one of those. But they have never actually told us what they're going to do and then actually done it yet this year. Not one fucking time. Why are you expecting differently this time? Because you're retarded. But this is not all going to work as they say it will. Period. Obviously, you should expect bugs on day one. Fine. I can give leeway for that. But there are going to be things written here that are just not going to work on day one. And they're also not going to go fixed week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. That's a shame. The question, of course, again, is going to be, what percentage are we going to get? If it's a pretty high percentage, cool. Also, are there going to be people under the map? Yes. Are there going to be a lot of people under the map? Also, yes. How long is it going to take them to fix that?
I'm going to go to train and see if I can get into the wall over there.
Yeah, right? How long is it going to take for them to fix that? God knows. If they can fix it quickly, not a big deal. I would expect people to be getting under the map on day 1. I don't expect people shouldn't be getting under the map week 4. But they may or may not. We'll see. But their track record's dog shit abysmal trash. So if you're expecting it to be polished, it will not be. And then all of this is nothing to say about what new bugs we're going to be getting. A lot. And how much that's going to set them back. And they're going to have to work on fixing those before they can work on fixing the other things they did say they were going to add that they failed to. Right? And cheaters. How many of them are there going to be? Spoiler alert. Fucking lots. Fucking lots. Lots of cheaters. Is it going to be Verdansk level cheaters? Probably not. Because it was, insane back in the day. And I'm cutting in and out on my internet, by the way. But the recording's fine.
You're not cutting in and out for me at all.
Oh, that's weird. My slobs keep saying reconnecting. Maybe we got banned on TikTok? Is that what happened?
Yes, we did. That's what it is.
We did. Yeah. Got it. Okay. Well, anyway.
It's such a terrible platform.
Yeah, whatever. I'll have to change that. What was I saying? Yeah. But, the cheaters also. How many cheaters are going to be? Tons. Supposedly, we're getting a Ricochet... what is it?
Blog post tomorrow.
Blog post?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm going to talk about it on Saturday, but you guys ought to know by now, it means nothing, no matter what they say. So we'll talk about it, and I'll remind you of this once again. Cheaters are going to be fucking terrible at some point in Season 3. They might get a handle on them for a while, and then there's a rash of them, and it ebbs and flows like it's been doing for 5 fucking years. How bad's the rash going to be? How long is it going to last? That's the question. But we are nowhere near, Vanguard anti-cheat. We are nowhere near Valorant level anti-cheat. We never, ever, ever will be, no matter what lies the Ricochet blog post will tell you. So, I'm excited, because I'm really fucking done with Urzikstan and this shit-ass, buns-ass game. But will I still mansell over rather than on top of thinner high ledges? Yes. Will my 5 attachment gun still cost 6K? No, because I can't anymore. But they just never fixed that problem. They never fixed it. Not once. So.
I'm hopeful that the reason it's been so bad the last few months is because they had like 4 interns working on the current game and that was it. And everybody else was working to make Verdansk perfect. That's what I'm hoping for. Because, this is a much, much, much bigger update than I think anybody expected. Including us. This update's much bigger than the BO6 Warzone integration, and it's not even close. It makes sense, honestly, why the game's been utter dog shit. But if we get this now, and it's also utter dog shit and buggy, then that's going to be extremely disappointing. That we had to deal with all that just to go back to a new map, and it'd also be a disaster. But we'll see. I don't really have much to add. I'm excited for the map. The visibility, the haze worries me a little bit, but after seeing all these screenshots and seeing video posted since the blog post, it looks much better than the flyover I think in general. It honestly almost seems like they reduced haze and the sun glare from that flyover. Because even images that kind of look that direction on the map, they don't look as bad. So I think that'll be fine. And it's nice to see the images that we saw police station where looking inside, the interior was lit, like there were lights on in there, and you can very clearly see. That excites me.
Yeah, that
and
looks
yeah, I'm
good.
just kind of excited to get back to that OG feel of having to drive around, a little bit slower paced, no balloons. It'll just be a big change. I'm excited for that. Because especially now, I mean, it's just they've got the game to a playable state, but it's like, why bother playing the game right now? It's just what's different? It's just nothing.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm excited for. Just different. The game to feel different again. Bunch of players to come back to. That'll be exciting. But yeah,
No
I mean, it
balloons is
seems like it's going to be really
thing,
good.
I think. Well, a new map's going to be the biggest thing, but no balloons besides that is going to be, I think, the biggest thing for me and for a lot of people, but probably not for all of you. And I'm super excited. Don't get me wrong. I'm very excited. I'm going to play the fuck out of it. But if you're expecting polish, stop. Okay, Google. Shit ass.
Chatting to your phone.
God damn it. When I said that, it lit up again. Yeah, I'm very excited to play it. But I just want to remind all of you, it's okay to be excited. I am too. It's okay to expect to have fun. I also expect to have fun. How much fun can I have? Not as much as this blog post implies. And not as much as the Ricochet anti-cheat update's going to imply, and not as much as the patch notes are going to imply. That's all I'm saying. Temper your expectations. And don't forget what they did to you every season since. So, yeah. But, I mean, a lot of good ideas here. Yeah, this sounds great on paper. Every update has, though. So that's what's bugging me the most. Because you guys keep telling me, like, oh, but what about this? But what about that? Doesn't that sound good? Doesn't this sound good? Yeah, so did every update this year. And then they didn't do those things. So do I expect to get shock charged at Lumber match 1? Yes, actually, I do. I expect that to happen. They said they removed them. Doubt it. Actually, they just never have done anything right yet. So I don't know. Maybe Tanner's right. They just haven't been doing shit. And that's why this game has been utter unpolished dog shit all year, is because they've been doing this. Maybe this is the Halloween update of 2025.
Maybe.
Where everything else suffers catastrophically, and then the Halloween update's fucking perfect and awesome. Maybe that's what Verdansk is. That's possible. Look, it's possible. I'm just saying, I don't find it likely, but we'll see. Either way, it's going to be better than now because it's new.
Well, just a bunch of the little things that infuriate you right now, too, like no shock charges, blast traps. Having all that gone, that's going to go a long way also. Because even if the game's bad, you not running up a staircase, getting shock charged, triple blast mined, it's one less thing to piss you the fuck off. Because that happens 5 minutes into the match, you're angry for the rest of the match.
Yeah.
So things like that will be just a bunch of little things. If they actually work correctly, will improve the game a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm just interested to see patch notes too, because also, yeah, there are a lot of things not in this blog post that I'd seen on Twitter. Like, I guess the devs literally said in the podcast too, something along the lines of like, all guns will be meta. Like, what the hell does that even mean? How is that possible? So it also sounds like we might be getting a massive weapon overhaul. I don't know. But I'm very excited to see these patch notes.
Hold on. I'm so sorry. Are you sure a dev said all guns will be meta?
That's what they're saying, man.
There's no fucking way. Where?
That's what they're saying.
In the podcast?
Mm-hmm. That's what they're being told.
Dude, someone has to find me a clip.
He said something along those lines.
If he said something along those lines, I will bet anyone any amount of money that is not even remotely close to being true.
Well, it's an insane thing to say, yeah.
Obviously.
But then they had talked about other things there, like
pisses me off.
Like the default loadouts will have meta attachments for people, things like that. Whatever meta attachments they think. So I don't know. Unfortunately, we might almost have to listen to that to get everything out of it to talk about more on Saturday. But we'll see.
He meant all the default loadout guns. That sounds more realistic. Yeah.
That's not what I was seeing on Twitter at all, but yeah, I mean, maybe I didn't listen to
Hopefully that's what he meant. Because yeah, saying all guns are meta is insane. Hey guy, make the SVD meta. Good luck.
Well, it doesn't even make any sense. Yeah.
Obviously it does. Yeah, of course. Make any burst gun meta at the same time as a full auto gun is meta. Good luck. Just like so hard to do, even from a very competent dev studio. These fucking apes. Yeah, that's so crazy. Anyway, I don't know. The devs never cease to piss me off. So, anyway, Crunchy Black, the $10 super chat, $10 if Casey admits he's a simp for COD. I mean, I play it a lot, so I guess I am. And as I say all the time, that's why it pisses me off so much, because it's so goddamn close to being perfect and fun right now. But we're not there. We're just not. And the stupid mistakes they make are so easily rectified. That is the worst part. You made the zip audio good, and then you fucked it for no reason. How? Which doesn't matter until it does, and then you die to someone who zips up on you, no audio. Which wouldn't have happened last season. Like, they've demonstrated they can fix it. Why are you letting this happen to me? Because I was having so much fun playing your game up until that point. Or up until I mantle over rather than on top of a thin or high ledge that leads to an untimely death. Yeah, so, I mean, yeah. No one hates the devs enough. Crunchy Black, thank you again for the super chat. And that's fucking it. So yeah, we will be back Saturday. Obviously, we won't be on TikTok. I guess we've been banned. I'll look into like Instagram or some shit live streaming. But
well, it's just that live stream was banned, right? Aren't we just like you just started?
I suspect we're just banned on TikTok live. Yeah, that would be my guess. Maybe not, but I think it's time we try something else out anyway.
Doesn't our live stream get banned like the last 3 times we've gone live on TikTok? Doesn't that always happen?
Not prematurely ended. That's never happened. No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So, we did a Patreon episode at patreon.com/thedropshot, and we're going to be doing another one tomorrow. Our last one was a very detailed breakdown of the trailer they tweeted. We didn't really talk about that today for that reason. We were very concerned about it because it was hazy, which our feelings have been somewhat assuaged based on this blog post. But also it was very sunny, and they didn't talk about the sun at all. In fact, the word sun is mentioned one time. I guess. Where is this? It's somewhere here. Well, I mentioned the word sun once. So, yeah, like, still very worried about that. And then some other things. So, if you guys want to go listen to that, patreon.com.
That was the word.
/thedropshot. You can go listen. And, yeah, best way to support the show, early access, ad-free, and bonus eps. And the bonus eps are going to go bonkers for the month of April, because we're going to have a fuck ton to talk about, obviously, as we already have been doing here. So, thank you all for watching and listening. Crunchy Black, another $10. I'm a man of my word. Well, they don't play their own game. True, they don't. Thank you very much for the 20 United States dollars. King. We love and appreciate that. Thank you, man. And Ramin with the $13.99 CAD. So the 2 United States dollars. I'm going down with Canadian dollar. Based, I guess.
Okay.
Ramin, as always, great to have you here, even though you have the most insane takes I've ever seen. I respect it. And I respect that super chat. So thank you very much, Ramin. Thank you again, Crunchy Black. And Activision devs do not play their own game. We'll see you Saturday.
No.